Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.
At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Peace, family. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Hit that like button. Again, please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. You know, I love y'all. You know, I do. If you're new here, again, if you're new and if you're watching this, if you view this, even if it's for 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 1 second, hit the like button. And also just subscribe, join the family. We friendly over here. I know sometimes when we get on these panels, things might get a little heated, but I promise you, we friendly. We are welcoming. So join this search for a Huru family. Y'all, we've been going strong. Again, we've been going strong. I think I posted my first video here when I went to Tanzania back in 2013, 2012, maybe. So we've been here. We ain't going nowhere. So go ahead and join the family, you guys. Love to see y'all. Got a couple of announcements. We are rolling to Cape Town. We're rolling to Cape Town. That is going to be March 25th through April 2nd. March 25th through April 2nd, we're rolling to Cape Town. If you're interested in joining us, please visit danful.africa. We are also rolling to Senegal in May for the Jazz Festival. We only got 3 spots left for the Jazz Festival in Senegal. That is going to be May 9th to the 18th. Then we're going to Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. That is August 9th to the 18th. Then September, Zanzibar in September. That is September 20th to the 29th. Then we're going to finish it out with Ghana and Ivory Coast in November. So if you're interested in joining, please visit danfo.africa. Again, if you're interested in joining, please visit danfo.africa. Shout out to Africa Superstar who's in the chat room. Just got back from Sierra Leone over a week ago. I'm still hurt or upset or sad, shifting topics real quick, that my University of Georgia Bulldogs lost. I cannot get over it, y'all. I'm trying to get over it, but I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I am hurt. I'm recovering. I'm kind of sad, y'all. So, oh, I think Miami plays tomorrow. Miami plays Miami plays tomorrow. Oh shoot, Miami plays tomorrow. So at least we got some college football coming on. But my Georgia Bulldogs ain't playing, and we should be. But we blew the game. We blew it. We blew the damn game, and so I'm upset over that. But hey, we got to move on. We got to move on. We got to move on. So tonight's topic, another assassination attempt. Again, another assassination attempt. Ibrahim Traore. I don't know. Is he the president? Would he be considered the president of Burkina Faso? Or is he the general? What would his title be? Because he took over via a coup. So what would his what would his title be? Is he considered the president? But yeah, there was another attempted coup on his life. Well, yeah, another coup or assassination attempt. There we go. Assassination attempt. Another one on his life. And I think this is like maybe the 10th one since he's been in office. Probably more than that. So what they're saying is the former so when the coup originally happened, the first coup before this coup, they're saying that guy is the one who tried to take Ibrahim Traore out, and it was funded by Ivory Coast. Allegedly. But no one says anything. Because the focus has been primarily on Maduro. And no one's really focusing on what's going on in Africa. Nobody really cares, but we care here. We care over here. But yeah, there was another assassination attempt on his life. Let me pull it up. And guys, I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat room. If you guys want to call in, you guys are more than welcome. Yeah, Diamba. So Diamba circled back allegedly and tried to have him killed, and it was funded by the Ivory Coast. That's what that's what Burkina Faso was saying. They're accusing Ivory Coast, which is, I mean, another African nation trying to take out an African leader. Which is interesting. But here we go. This is from the BBC. Plot to kill Burkina Faso leader foiled, says Junta. A plot to kill Burkina Faso's military leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, has been thwarted, the West African nation has announced. The sophisticated plan had been hatched by Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Damiba, the military officer ousted by Traore in September 2022. The security minister said in a late-night broadcast, our intelligence services intercepted this operation in the final hours. They have planned to assassinate the head of state and to strike other key institutions, including civilian personalities, said Mohamedou Sana, further alleging that the plot had been funded by neighboring Ivory Coast. There has been no comment from either Colonel Damiba or Ivory Coast. Since seizing power, Captain Traore has faced at least 2 coup attempts, more than that, and is also grappling with growing jihadist violence that has forced millions from their homes. Despite these challenges and his authoritarian reputation, the 37-year-old military leader maintains strong popular support and has gained a following across the continent for his Pan-Africanist vision and criticism of Western influence. Authorities uncovered a leaked video showing the plotters discussing their plans, according to the security minister. Okay. A leaked video of them discussing their plans. Okay, so they were huddled up somewhere. They posted it on Twitter. Jesus. In the footage, they allegedly spoke about how they intended to assassinate the president either at close range or by planting explosives at his residence just after 2300 local time on Saturday, January 3rd. Afterwards, they allegedly planned to target other senior military and civilian figures. Sana alleged that the Mimba had mobilized both soldiers and civilian supporters, secured foreign funding, mostly 70 million sefa, which is about $125,000 delivered from Ivory Coast, and planned to knock out the country's drone launch base before foreign forces could intervene. We are carrying out ongoing investigations and have made several arrests. These individuals will be brought to justice soon, the minister said on national television. Sana insisted the situation was under control. And so is the member, is he in exile in the Ivory Coast? Because all the sellouts, all the sellouts, they go to Ivory Coast. They get asylum in Ivory Coast for some reason. Sana insisted the situation was under control and urged citizens not to be misled out of naivety into dangerous schemes. It is unclear how many people have been arrested. Critics, both local and foreign, have accused Captain Traore of authoritarianism and say his government suppresses dissent, including arbitrary arrests of military officers and restrictions on the media. It is not the first time the junta has pointed a finger of blame about foreign interference in its affairs at Ivory Coast. These continuing internal power struggles will further heighten regional tensions. Colonel Namibia served as Burkina Faso's leader from January to September 2022 after seizing power from an elected government. After being ousted, he went into exile in neighboring Togo, and said in a message published on social media that he wished his successor every success. Go ahead, Wildflower.
Yeah. Hi, panel. Hi, Dennis. I hope you're doing well.
Doing good.
I really think this is time for everybody to reflect on the fact that his life is going to continue to be unsafe. And for people that romanticize white Republicans as just focusing on themselves, these are very imperialistic. Whether it's a white Democrat or white Republican, they all have one goal, which is white supremacy, to dominate the world. So when I hear Black Americans say all Republicans, they're pro-capitalist and this and that, all of them want to subjugate Black people. So I don't know why some, other Black liberals who think, the white Democrats, they're the good ones. None of them are good. Everybody wants to subjugate us so they can steal our resources and wealth. And when you see Black people just being fragmented, sort of like, we're FBA, we're this, we're South African, we're East, we're at such a disadvantage that we're not united. White supremacy is pan-Europeanism. White people practice pan-Europeanism. Pan-European, that's what whiteness is. It doesn't matter if you're German, if you're Spanish, if you're English, they are under the ban of whiteness. So they're able to dominate the world because they practice pan-European. Black people are struggling to even get pan-African off the ground, because you get a lot of people that want to be in their small little groups. And that's how we're easily dominated. So I feel like, it's a wake-up call for our people, because at the end of the day, we are under attack. We've been under attack since the last 2,000 years when they found our continent, and they realize as a minority on this planet, they make up 13% of the planet? They're the minority, we're the global majority, but we're not united at all. They were able to say, it doesn't matter if you're, Serbian or if you're Welsh, we're all white. And they understand that. African people, Pan-African is dead, Pan-African is, this is how we're never going to be anything in the world, because we can't get into a mindset that in unity you have strength. As an individual, you're easily taken down by a group that is more determined, more unified. Say whatever you want to say about white people, they are very organized and they are very united against their enemies. Whether we haven't done anything for them to hate us, but we are perceived as their enemy, and they are very united. It doesn't matter if I'm French or if I'm English. If we're going against black people, we are all united. White Americans are more concerned about what's happening in Europe because they believe in pan-European. Black people that, we're FBA, we're this, we're that. And this is how we get laughed at. We just don't seem to understand that if we're not going to be Pan-African, we are going to fail. There's one thing we can learn from white people. They practice pan-European. You can be from the Czech Republic and you see unity with an Irish person. And when it comes against people of color, black or brown, they're on board. That's how they dominate the world. We are literally can't get this through our heads. I don't understand what our problem is. And whenever we're united, we've been unbeatable. Yeah, and when we see an example in the Sahel, a real life example in 3D, where black countries have come together united, and it's a threat to white supremacy, because when black people are united, we'll take over the world. And just a small example like that, if it can be successful, other black people will replicate that. So they want to destroy it with all their might. White people are only powerful because they practice pan-European. So we need to get our act together. And Ibrahim Traore is going to survive more attempts, but it's really time for us to reflect.
Okay. Go ahead, Nigel.
Yeah, thanks, Diana, for having me, and greetings to the panelists and the chat and to the viewers. Yeah, like the lady said, his life is always forfeit if he carries on in the way he's carrying on. And just to add a slightly different tilt, we as a people, we have to start understanding that maybe nobody's there to protect us. We have to plan from that point of view, that we have to work assuming that everybody wants to get a piece of us, including the Russians, and the Western ones, and the Chinese, because that is the worst case scenario. And it may already have been put in place as we speak, because the actions of Trump recently indicates that the fact that he's not that concerned about going after a Russian vessel, or at least vessels that has Russian flags on it, it may be because he knows the Russians will react, and the Russians are not reacting. As you can see so far. Do you see the Russians reacting to the Venezuela the capture of Maduro? No, you don't see that. The same goes with China. They condemn, but they hardly do anything, because we may be looking at a second 2.0 Berlin conference here, where these people have decided, or these powers have decided to carve out their own sphere of influence. Because if you look at the way Trump is now behaving with Europe, he's not even acting as if NATO exists anymore. He wants this in Greenland for himself. So maybe that is a border that they agreed with the Russian. But I guess the coming days will make things clear. I hope a new Berlin conference has not been reached, because that is, for me, one of my greatest apprehension. Because if that happens, we are if we think the European Berlin Conference was bad, imagine billions of people having that kind of arrangement to oppress Africa. That could be very, very problematic for us. And this is why I think we should start thinking like we don't have any friends out there, because this atmosphere doesn't indicate that we do. And if anything, the past also shows that there was a policy, they use the term security minimalist approach to Africa. In other words, both powers, the Soviet Union and the Western powers, they never intended for Black African countries to be powerful, even when they are playing us against each other. That is how crazy it is. So, like, Russia now could be working with Burkina Faso, but you will never see them have the kind of strategic relationship they ever had with China or any other nation that they've had some top, like even Pakistan. You will never see that. They will never give them anything reasonable. They will just give them aircraft, if you rocket propelled grenade here and there. That's it. And this is why I think if that is the case, we have to plan as if we don't have any friends out there, and we have to rely on ourselves. And this is why the relationship within the continent and the diaspora is highly, highly essential at this stage, and because knowledge exchange and all kinds of stuff we have to exchange for our own shared interests is the importance cannot be stated overstated anymore, because these powers are gearing up. All of them. The Trump is talking about increasing the defense budget of the US by 500 billion. Europe is doing the same thing. China is doing the same thing. Where is Africa? Where are we? We are not even in the equation at all.
Hey, 29, you got 30 seconds.
Yeah, so that is something we have to be very, very aware of and plan towards, especially when it comes to technology. We have to start exchanging technology quite well, and we have to be more alert to our own this thing. We have to prioritize our own interests right now, because we don't have the energy to worry about any other people at the moment. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Cash. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Cash Nova. Meet yourself.
Thanks, Dynas. I had to switch over devices. I'm just getting this down pack here. I agree with a lot of the things that Wildflower said. It's just about putting it into actual practicality. White folks, they kind of enforce white supremacy over the planet. It's not like a kumbaya thing where this group comes together, and there's a delegate, like people politic and they kumbaya it out. Like it's kind of like fought for. Like it's all about war. And white supremacy is tricky. Like it's not what you think. It's not all white people working together. Because if that is the case, then why isn't Russia working with the United States, and why isn't China working with Japan? They're both Asians. So I think Pan-Africanism, it needs to be enforced like white supremacy is enforced. It's not going to be pretty. People not going to agree with it. Traore, they're going to keep trying to kill him, unfortunately, until they actually succeed, because it's like history tells us this. If you well versed on history, we were arguing about Dr. King, they killed him. We were arguing about Malcolm X, they killed him. We were arguing about all the greats, Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, they killed all of them. And we're busy arguing about them. And it's nothing different now. We're arguing about Traore. Like Burkina Faso is not safe. The jihadists keep growing stronger. He's so heavy against the West. And I think it's just the radical self-reliance of Traore is going to be his downfall. Pan-Africanism, unfortunately, you need allies. And it's best to be the ally with a winning side, not a losing side. Russia's losing. They can't extend the help to Cuba. They can't extend the help to their satellite nations who they're supposed to have, camaraderie with, Cuba, Chad in Africa. Now Burkina Faso, they keep attempting to kill him. Like, they shouldn't get that close. They're going to succeed when they actually make their move. I think all of these are just smoke screens, and they're testing them. They're getting his reactions, and they're making a plan for him right now. Now, it would be smart if Traore tried to play both sides, but he's not doing that. He's saying no to the West completely. But the West is up right now. So, like, he just don't want to get caught on the losing side. I don't think Traore is a qualified leader. if we talk in Pan-Africanism. I think the most qualified leader in Africa would actually be Paul Kagame. But there's so many people who don't like Paul Kagame. But Paul Kagame is proven in battle. You know what I'm saying? And he actually invests in military technology. And he has a royal family. His sons, all his kids went to military academies all over the world. So they know defense. You know, Rwanda's got some of the most well-equipped soldiers on the continent right now. You know, it's a reason why the Congo crying that they over there putting belt to ass in Goma, you know, and all in the Eastern Congo. And they're probably about to take Kinshasa. So I think Paul Kagame is the most qualified Pan-African leader, even though he doesn't say Pan-Africanism. I don't really hear Traore say it too much, you know, and I don't hear Traore talk out against white supremacy. He's always saying imperialism. Well, what about white supremacy? You can't say that because then you'd be talking about your Russian brothers, and you call them family. I think he called Russian people family. You know, you know, it's just a lot of holes in these ideologies, and we just got to keep it a buck. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let me pass it. Go ahead, T. Khalid.
Yeah, bro. And this is why you don't understand. You see, you ask a question, why doesn't he say white supremacy because of Russian friend? You see, this is why when you talk about white supremacy, it seems like black people have a tunnel vision and you don't understand politics because you also said, you see, it's tricky because why is Russia not siding with the United States? It is imperialism. Because if white supremacy was the end all be all, just like you're saying, let's take it in context in the United States. You have a white man, Trump, going up against a quote unquote black woman. Let's say a woman of color. Who's the one that got assassinated? Well, who's the one that had assassinated attempt on it? So it doesn't matter. It's people who are going up against the imperialist, Western oligarchy and people who aren't. And Russia is one of those white countries who is not with that system. Why do you think NATO and the United States is sanctioning them? Why is it that every time Trump tries to make some type of peace with Russia, there's rhinos in his own party that's trying to stop him? So yes, I don't blame Traore. No, do not say white supremacy because that's a small-minded, non-understanding, I'm sorry, just an idiotic mindset because by that notion, you're going to be confused. Well, then why are white people in America fighting each other? Why are the Europeans going to war? Because it's more detailed than that instead of that simple-minded white supremacy. They will put a black man in office, Obama, and you're going to still have some issues with Obama in some African countries. It
Obama's
doesn't
not black.
matter. It's the NGOs, it's the
Obama's not
small
black
hats,
though.
it's the billionaires with money. It has nothing to do with color. Traore could be white. He could be a white man. And if he's against Western imperialism, he's still going to get an assassination attempt. It doesn't matter. That's why you're so confused, brother, because your mind is not thinking outside the box. You have a narrow-minded view. That's why you can't understand why he's not saying white supremacy.
Why
That's
you
why.
so
It's
charged up, man?
narrow-minded.
Why you so charged up?
Let me pass the mic to Africa, because he's been waiting. I actually skipped him. Go ahead, Africa. Mute yourself.
Yes, Dennis, about everybody.
The body fine.
Okay, are you back home right now?
Yeah, I'm back in America.
Are you back? Okay. How was the trip?
It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm glad you're back, man. I'm glad you're back. At least one day we get to bump into each other. Yeah, God willing. Yeah. So I mean, we've been there backward and forwards. I mean, Dynasty, remember one of the first times I came on this show, I said this is gonna happen, but this sounds cringy now. I might sound like some ego-headed guy. Well, I said this long time ago, and I actually narrated it back to how we had our own infighting, drawing attention. Another person is actually going to seek help based on that infighting to bring the outsiders. It goes back to how the Portuguese started coming into Africa. How they was invited, to fight another crew, and so on. And then obviously, boom. The reality is, what black people don't understand in this world that we're living in, it's all about interest base. The Western the Western Alliance, if you want to call them that way, these people, they have gone beyond color. We need to get away from this thing. They have gone beyond color. Now they're looking at their interest and whoever is more powerful.
Facts.
Now I have interacted with in different platforms, looking at really deep into the psyche of the system that is actually, actually it's this elitism that's growing in the world for the last few years. It's all about interest. If they think you're weak, you're actually coming after their money. You're gonna be eating off their plate. They will come and smash you and bring you back, put you back in your place. Period. You have to find a way to work with them. We can't just come in here every day and start blaming white supremacy, white this, Chinese this. I mean, how many black people actually currently, living in Russia or living in China happily? Very few. Most of us are living in the West. These are the people that we're actually complaining about. Yes, they are actually, they're selfish. They're looking after their people. They're looking after their interests. It's up to us as people and our leaders to do the same thing. But how to do that without actually bringing the wrong attention, and bringing the wrong people into your population is a different thing. I don't think Traore, grasp that. In fact, one of his constant criticism over the years, in certain aspect, I criticize him. In some aspect, I like the guy. He seemed like someone that mean well for his people. He want to develop his country, and he's facing a lot of problems in terms of insecurity. It's a very difficult thing for a young man, to have to deal with. And you can see the deep patriotism in it and the love for his people. You cannot take that from him. Whether someone kill him today, get rid of him, you can't. But the guy, he's not a politician. The world that we're living in today, you need to know how to play politics. And also you need a strong lobby group. You need to have something on the table. And this thing that you have on the table is not about going to your opponent, trying to take it from them because you have no points, you have no ground to stand on. You need to go there like you're going for a job interview. Where you can provide what you can gain. We know some people that actually started working for a company, and next minute they became richer than that company that they worked for by being strategizing, by being strategic. So the problem that we're facing in Africa, we don't have leaders that suit the time that we live. That goes to losing. So in a way, we are kind of doomed, because of that factor. But also the people and their mindset is very backward, and we haven't catch up with times as people. And I think that reflects on our leaders. That's the problem we're facing in the world. It's not just Africa; it's the entire black race. For example, how many good black leaders that we killed in Africa over the years? How many good black leaders that we have killed in America over the years? Black people that could have potentially been leaders, been taken out. We need to start looking within, and then when we solve this problem, then we need to start. Before we can actually focus on outside issues, and at the same time, we need to find a way to protect ourselves in these times. Whatever way that it means, we need to find a way to do it because it's survival fittest. I'll pass the mic, Dinah.
Hey guys, what's up?
It's Prince. Go ahead, Prince Steve. Then it's
Oh,
your
my
turn.
bad.
Go ahead, Prince Steve.
All right. Yeah. Well, Mr. Traore, seeing that this is the, I don't know how many assassination attempts now, and they're saying that it was Ivory Coast. These guys were from the Ivory Coast. First it was Nigeria, now it's Ivory Coast, ECOWAS countries. I just think that Burkina needs to just go ahead and take the initiative. AES just needs to take the initiative and punch back. I mean, this is probably just going to turn into a war. And if Traore is assassinated, then it's going to be a war. I just think that right now, AES just needs to mobilize in that region.
It ain't gonna be no war if they clip him. Ain't no black people gonna do nothing.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think that
It
it's
wasn't no
a
war after Sankara got clipped. It wasn't no war after
this is
Lumumba
a
got
different
clipped.
generation. This is a different generation of Africans.
Man,
I
no
think you
different.
got, I think you
They're
got
just
some.
cannon fodder. They're just
I
cannon
think you got
fodder.
some.
Can I just say one thing? Can I just say one thing? The one thing about Burkina Faso, someone from West Africa, Burkina Faso has been the breeding ground for terrorism in West Africa for for a very long time. So what they're facing in there in terms of the jihadism and all this insecurity, they, in a way, they brought that to themselves because most like Sierra Leone, Liberia, most of the people that came and destroyed it, they came from Burkina Faso. These were trained mercenaries. They've been used, to go and destroy other nations in the region for decades, and now they actually now facing this similar problem. So,
And can I say something as
they're not
well?
as innocent. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
Go
most
on.
of those terrorists are Fulanis as well. So yeah, I just want to put that there.
It's most of them. Maybe most of them might be Fulani, but those that came to Sierra Leone and Liberia, that wasn't Fulani. I don't know who is
Anyway,
talking.
never
If
mind. I was
you,
just trying to get at you. Never mind. I was just trying to mess with you, Al.
Well,
Don't worry.
well,
oh, is that you
Me and you,
fucking
we
idiot?
go
You're a
back.
fucking dickhead.
We
You're a
go back.
dickhead.
We go back, Al. We go back. I was just messing with
Oh,
you.
is that you? Is that you
what
with
I was trying
your
to
God?
say, because I know some
Mm,
brothers feel like um
Yeah.
AES won't make that move. I think so. I think but they have to make the move. I mean, you if looking at the Western world,
mm,
um if it were the UK,
mm,
if they deliberately, if it was just so evident that they try to take out Putin, Russia will see that
mm,
as an act of war. Um, it's an act of war when you try to take out a country's leader, and it's happened twice. And if Burkina doesn't do anything about it, if AES doesn't do anything about it, AES
mm.
actually looks weak.
Mm.
And
Can I have a say here as
Yeah, but
well?
let the man finish, then you can come on.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry.
Who? Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's just like how you snatch up Maduro. At some point, you got to respond back, or you look weak. You have to show some aggression at some point.
Mm.
Let me spell it out.
It's Skywalker's next, then I'll pass it to you, Dark. Go ahead,
Sorry,
Skywalker.
Danny. Sorry.
Go ahead, Skywalker. Unmute yourself, Skywalker. Okay, go ahead, Darth.
Yeah, let me see. What Trump is trying to usher, as in the world that Trump is trying to usher, is a global chaos. So what he did is it's a signal to the rest of the world that the global order is off. So he's trying to usher a world in which might makes right and all that kind of stuff. A world of chaos as well. From this chaos, he can make any country that's powerful can make strength. And currently, our countries are some of the most weakest countries as well. So let's say from this chaos, what Europe can perceive is that we cannot. We need to militarize immediately. We need to militarize. The United States will say we want to maintain the Western Hemisphere. Russia will want to gain grabs to kind of rebuild. Russia will try to rebuild the Soviet Union. And then you'll have China try to have its sphere of influence. And then within Africa, and then everybody will be competing for Africa. That's just like ushering a world where colonialism can come back again. You see what I'm saying? So what Africans need to do is actually come together, to actually militarize together and actually unified in terms of military, in terms of security, military, economy, but mostly military. We don't need politicians anymore. We need people who are ready for this world Trump is trying to create. Because what the agenda is make America great again, make America strong again by containing China. China is the
Yeah,
main threat.
Trump's the big bad boogeyman.
Hold on.
We got to fight against Trump.
Hold on. He's trying to make America great again by taking resources from anywhere. So you make America strong. You make America's position strong. America's position in Europe is probably aligned as well.
America is already
hold
strong.
on. Can you hold on? Let me finish. So he's
Let,
trying to
let
make
him finish
America.
his point, man.
He's trying to make America strong because America's position in Europe probably aligned and he hates a lot of white liberals because white liberals and China are the main enemy to him. He's trying to contain China and push China away from its sphere of influence. You see what I'm saying? That's why this Venezuela situation happened. Number two, the main goal is create global chaos so that you can usher in a world of whitey planet. A world where it's only white people and the planet can emerge, because it's the white countries that have a lot of power as opposed to China. So my question to the panel is, within Africa, which countries are more ready? Which countries seem more culpable to be colonized today? Is it the AES countries, or is it the African countries that we have that are in the coast or something? Which countries see?
Nigeria.
No, I'm saying, is it the AES countries that are
No,
easily to be
Nigeria.
colonized? Al, answer my question. Let's not just pick on Nigeria. You look at the
No, but
AES
it's a
countries.
fact.
Hold on. You look at
Look at
AES countries
Sudan.
and hold on. You
Sudan.
look
It's
at
the
the
same
AES
situation.
countries. Hold on.
Mm.
You look at the AES countries and their security posture, plus the African countries that are somewhat democratic and alike. Which ones are easier to recolonize in this world Trump is trying to usher?
The smaller nations are far easier. The smaller nations will be far easier.
Smaller nations. I don't know what's the security posture of the Sahel anyway. I don't think that big.
All of these nations.
I don't think the Sahel put together they put 1 billion in their defense anyway.
No. To Niger, it's just about the security posture. Now, people can talk about Ibrahim Traore, but I just want to say, when is professionalism the appropriate? When is paranoia the appropriate a professional approach to take, especially when it concerns your security? It's all the time. Yes, he's right to be paranoid and all that stuff, because his life depends on it and all that kind of stuff. So even if you're paranoid, sometimes paranoia is the right operational mode to take as well. So I just want to put that there. But what I'm trying to say, if we recognize is the smaller nations that are easy to pick off and recolonize because Trump is trying to create that global chaos, shouldn't we then take a position where we actually just come back in lockstep and actually be bigger, stronger, and then emphasize more security? You understand? Because otherwise, they're already colonized. They're already Ivory Coast, Senegal, Gambia, Nigeria. They are all colonized already. France, this just gives France the right to just do anything. But I'll let St. James handle you, Al. If you're gonna talk so much, I'm gonna be quiet.
Oh, fuck off. Go drink your real nephew.
Go ahead, Jago.
Thank you very much. Good evening to everybody, as it is. Good morning. I like the conduct of this conversation. We're asking really critical questions, as we should be as men of African descent, who see what's going on around the world. Right now, time is of a serious play. What's been shown to us, especially by Donald Trump and his movements, crazy as they may seem, I agree with the people who said that this is a launching of the New World Order and the understanding that we are in real flux. The changing of the guard, as it may seem, is about to take place one way or the other. We are going to war. We are not going to war as in it's going to happen today, next year, this or that. But there's an individual war against us all as individuals. We can see the kind of laws that are being pushed in the Western world, especially to curb our rights. And then on a bigger picture, those of us who are African as we are here, looking at, our haven. What would be our haven? Where do we run to? Where do we really stake our claim and say this far and no more? And for me, that is the continent of Africa. We have to find and strategize ways in going back ourselves, because this has a lot to do with us all as individuals. It is not just the big boys. We're not just watching TV. We speak about Traore and what he's done and what he's been able to do, along with the AES countries. And for me, it's the most powerful example of how and where we lead from. We lead from cleaning up house, which is that we get, firstly, the Western authorities out of our nations, especially in West Africa. And we do come together technologically in order to perform a new way of defense of our territory. And that will be both military wise and politically wise. It won't just happen from one angle. Where we are right now as Africans, we are weak as shit in this continent where they're playing hardball chess. we're playing checkers. And I'm afraid that's not good enough. And I'm sure we all understand that. And from this realistic point of view, I feel strongly that those of us with serious minds, intellectual wherewithal, scientific intelligence, we need to be going back home. We need to be consolidating a plan. Because, you know, Africa, for as long as I've been following the madness that's taking place over there, and that's a long time, it has never had a plan. Africa has never had a plan. Plans come from individuals in the Caribbean who write the plan of the African diaspora by way of African unity that leads into the, what do they call it? Pan-Africanism. That's a movement that has really been birthed in Trinidad by a certain mind. I won't say his name in a minute. And that burst into Marcus Garvey. It burst into what we have as a black consciousness politically. What we have to really understand is that the world is Africa and the world stands on it. We are at the bottom, holding the pressure of the whole planet. And if we go to Africa, we can see our people suffering under this pressure. Having said this, there is more wealth under the ground than in anywhere else. We can recover our dignity in all spheres. But are we going to do it? Because right now we have to answer our father's name, as they say in Nigeria. You have to answer your father, your papa name, which is to say that it's all very well talking at the leaders, so-called, how bad they are or how good they are. But you see, this is your time. You're in this time. And you are birthing children. And as we birth and we rebirth, what are we offering them? Are we offering them the same pain and suffering that we have been through and we have realized it within our generation? And we know generations as far back as God knows what have done the same. Do we remain in this position? Is this what we're offering? Because for me, it's far from good enough. So I think we all have to call our father's name. I think we have to realize that this is our war, that we are fighting for our consciousness, we are fighting for our dignity, we are fighting for our individual pride, we are fighting, if we have a God, for our God. So I'm going to leave it there and see where the communication goes. But I do thank you all for paying attention, and I like the way the course of this conversation is going. Thank you.
Hey, Dinus, I got cut off. Somebody cut me off.
Go ahead. Then I pass the pan mulattoism after you.
Hey, Jogoon, I really like what you said, man. The biggest problem right now that we got coming out of Africa is the brain drain. All the smart people and intelligent people leaving, and then we have so many smart people in our Pan-African diaspora that live here in the United States, Canada, and all these countries, and that right there is the key, because right now our problem is military. We need to build military strength in that region, and the only way you're going to build ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, the ships we need to build, the warships, submarines that we need to build, is if we have the right engineers on the ground. There's so many I'm not going to go into my military history, but there's so many Africans who are engineers, who are masterminds, who work for the US Navy, who are developing systems at Lockheed. Man, that in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Ghana, those guys are critical in terms of building a military infrastructure and developing weapon systems that are able of carrying out big damage. Because here's the big thing. You are considered to have a seat at the table if you have nuclear weapons, if you have military strength, if you have a strong army, if you're able to project power over the globe, if you have a navy, then you can control trade routes. You can control ports if you have a strong navy. Nobody can come in your backyard and tell you what to do unless they have to pay a big price. And right now, we can't project that power to world powers. But at the same time, it has been proven if you fight back like Vietnam did, if you fight back like the Taliban did,
That's
eventually
right.
the West will go away. They will go away. It's not worth that many American lives.
They'll spin the block.
Yeah, it's not worth that many lives. See, you got to think about it. They say 60,000 American lives were lost during the Vietnam War. So many American parents was crying when they were losing their sons. And eventually Vietnam was able to retain its sovereignty. That's what West Africans have to be willing to do to retain their sovereignty.
What you
My friend,
not
sorry, let
Hold
me
on,
just
let him
let
land
me.
his plane because I'm next. Let him land his plane. Go ahead, brother.
So
Okay.
here's the thing. And I heard a brother say it on the chat back on Sunday. It's not about how many times you get punched and knocked down. It's about how many times you get up. And in order to maintain your sovereignty, you gotta be willing to get punched in the mouth, punched in the face, get your nose bloody, and take a couple losses. But we gotta be willing to fight. We can't be willing to cave in. We can't be willing to let our most intelligent people go up a yonder and go abroad and use their knowledge somewhere else when we need the knowledge there. That's all I'm saying.
All right, and
Yeah,
much respect to the
I'll
room.
give a good example. I'll give a good example of
Hold
that
on, brother.
in the
I'm next,
Sahel.
brother.
Well, hold on, guys.
I'm
Yo,
next, brother.
it's Pamela Mulatto's turn. Go ahead, Pamela.
Yes,
No
sir.
problem.
Thank you. And peace to the whole panel. I'll try to keep it brief because I know everyone wants to get in. I'll say
Checkmate.
this. Much love to you, brother. And
Checkmate.
I'll say this. What we're seeing, saludo, what we're seeing in Africa right now, with all due respect, is the unavoidable karma of the African nations. The neo-colonization of Africa is a result of a different brain drain that the last brother that was speaking omitted. The transatlantic chattel slave trade, you had Africans selling other Africans to Europeans. Also, you have to acknowledge that these same Africans that were sold to Europeans came to the US and helped develop the Manhattan Project, which is the nuclear weapons that the US uses as leverage against Africa because Africa does not have nuclear weapons. So the point is the same Africans that Africans sold to Europeans helped the US develop the same weapons that the U.S. uses against Africa. This is an unavoidable karma. And
He's right, you know.
South Africa
with all due
had this
respect,
weapon.
well, allow me to land my plane with this. With all due respect, it's not for me as a descendant of the Africans that continental Africans sold to Europeans to give Africans advice. But I will say this: you can never outrun your karma, respectfully. And I relinquish the floor.
I'm gonna step down. I just want to say
Can
one more
I
thing.
speak?
I'm gonna step down now immediately. I'm gonna say one more thing.
Hold on. Let Okini go. Then I'll pass it back. Okini, go ahead.
Dennis, can you hear me yet?
You're kind of low. If you could speak up.
Okay, so just let me know I'm at a volume starting. But I just want to say this here. And see what I learned from this.
Are
Ibrahim
you on
Traore.
Are you on speakerphone or Bluetooth?
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
I'm gonna be quick. More than 1 second.
Am I clear right here?
That's better. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm just gonna keep this real quick, right? One thing I've learned from this new Ibrahim Traore's attempt, Traore's assassination attempt is this, right? I think Ibrahim Traore is the most benevolent leader out of all the AES leaders. When it comes to General Chiani, Assimi Goita is a general as well. I think he's the most benevolent, and he's not done business like the others have done business. Think about Chiani, for example. When he took over Niger, the first thing he did was expel the ex leader of the country, or the governor, whoever it was called. Bazoum is his name, if I'm not mistaken. Think about Ibrahim Traore. he's actually expelled. What's his name? Bamida. He's expelled Bamida, but Chiani did not expel Bazoum. He kept him in prison. That creates a proximity where you can control Bazoum's activities, his intentions, and his results overall. Traore has not done that, and that's a lot of problem that we have in the Black and African or the Pan-African community and the Pan-African world. We do not control our external sort of like challengers or our external forces. We don't control them. We're a
External
bit too
threat.
benevolent.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
We're a bit too benevolent. Do you know what I'm saying to you? That's what I'm gonna say. We're a bit too benevolent, and that's all I've gotten from like this whole situation, based on the information that I've garnered, based on the conclusions that I've reached. That's all we've done. Like we're not good at controlling our external challenges and the particulars to them, whether it be the people, the environment, or the situation. Like we need to be more on deck. I don't necessarily know what everyone on the panel has spoken about, but what I'm just gonna say is that Black men, Black women who are progressive, who are revolutionaries, so on and so forth, we need to do more to be less benevolent. That is it. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So it's like, don't be like an Ibrahim Traore who's willing to expel a Bamida. Be more like a Chiani who's willing to lock up, what's his name, Bazoum. Lock up a Bazoum. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Like lock him up.
So do you think?
Lock.
Do you think it's behavior? Do you think it's behavior
But
like that that will solve
listen
our
to what I'm
problems?
saying, my bro. Listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that lock your enemies up, whether they be in your skin color, whether they be African or they're not
Oh yeah,
African.
yeah. Okay,
Lock
okay, okay. I got you
him
now.
up.
Yeah, okay.
What I'm
All right.
saying is
Okay.
be 100% ruthless. Lock him up. If you have to lock the kids up, lock them up as well. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So lock him up.
Okay.
Be ruthless. This
Yeah.
benevolence that we as Africans, we as
Okay.
progressive African people, we walk around the face of this planet with, we have to drop it. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Because it's
I
funny,
know what
man.
you're saying.
Remember, let me say this to you. Let
Okay.
me say this to you, people. Let me say this. The weaknesses could be internal and external. The external weaknesses are challenges. The internal
Exactly.
weaknesses are weaknesses. With that said,
That's it.
listen to me, my brother. With that said, we have to call our chances. Like if you minimize your level of external challenges, and you minimize your level of, or minimize your level of internal challenges, it enhances the chances of you being successful politically. It facilitates the chances of you being successful politically as well. That's what I was gonna say.
Right,
With that said,
Right. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing.
we
It's
just
what I'm trying to say is other people
we
talk.
as progressive Pan Africans and Black and African people, we need to be less benevolent. That's what I'm gonna say.
Can
Big
I
thing.
add to that? Can I add to that?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Because I haven't spoken since
Basically.
everybody's been speaking. I just
Go on.
wanted to add
No. Okay. Go on.
to
Go on, love.
the gentleman that just spoke. What I actually agree with what he's saying, that in general, because of our people, our race globally, we are the most evolved. So when it comes to enacting ruthless violence, I can't even say the word, we're not at that base level. But if we want to survive in this world, competing with people who are very ruthless with violence, they have a capacity for violence that the African mind cannot comprehend. These are the people that are still at the lower base instinct. And if we want to survive in this world where we're the main prey,
I don't agree with that.
we might need
I
to
can
switch off.
comprehend
We
the
might
Let her
need to
Western
talk.
switch off.
Let her talk.
Can I speak, please? We might need to switch off some of our humanity to get these people in order, because we cannot
I have
adapt
seen one of the most
the
unhumane
the
behavior in
level of
Let
Africa
violence,
let
the
her
level.
by Africans.
Can I finish
We're all
speaking?
animals.
let this lady talk.
The
We're
level
all
of violence that the European male that came out of the cold caves can enact on people globally that don't share his skin color, there's no one that can match that level. There's no one that can be that ruthless. And Africans, we are
absolutely
gentler creatures. We can be violent towards each other, but we don't.
Y'all there?
I don't know what happened. All I'm
What
saying
happened
is
to him?
I agree. Yeah. All I'm saying is I agree to some of the points that he was saying. I don't totally agree with violence or being brutal because we in
Man,
Africa we have
fuck
I don't
seen
that.
agree
We
with
need
nothing
the
that
Africans.
you just
violence.
said
I've seen
because
Africans. I've seen
That's the
Africans doing
fucking
most of the.
problem.
we
No,
we
well,
can be
listen.
super violent
Africans have
towards
done
Man,
one of
we
the
need the
most violent
goddamn
to one
what the
others
another.
fuck,
and
Can
bro?
I
understand other
finish?
people's
Can I
violence
finish?
towards them.
African have done so much.
No,
Listen,
stop talking that
I was
soft
raised in the
ass
war.
shit.
Crazy
We
Can
need
you
to
and
get
let
rid
him
of
Any
this
one of
talk?
fucking
you?
What is
block.
this?
What's wrong with
I
you
said
guys?
black
I
people
have.
are crazy
Any one
No,
of
we
you
need to
born and raised
fucking
in
end the
violence?
can't
block,
comprehend the
bro.
level of
Was
It's
violence.
time
any
to
one
get
That's
of
rid of
you
that's
this
here
up,
shit,
man.
bro.
born? This guy's an idiot.
No, no,
Is
the
any
fuck
one of
I
you
ain't,
here
yo.
born in a war zone?
You sound like a
Have you ever
scary
seen? Have you
What
ever
motherfucker.
is
been in a
this?
war?
What is
Have
this?
you ever been in a war? Have you ever been in a war?
Have you
Excuse
Man,
ever
me. Have
look,
been
you
in
I
a
ever been
fucking
in?
Hold on, but
signed up,
brother, you cut
y'all.
the sister off though. You
I
cut
got
the
Africa,
fucking
sister off.
Africa,
combat
Okay,
shit,
yeah.
dog.
A
What the
white
hell
flower.
you
She
talking
dropped
Sorry.
about?
out.
Okay.
Fucking
Africa.
She
Have
crazy
you
dropped out.
ever
colors,
been in a
dog.
fist fight, bro?
Have you been in a war before? Have you ever
You
been
don't
in a
Man, that
war?
don't
you
mean
never been
shit.
in a fist
Have
fight.
you
Have you
served?
seen what black people done to other black
Okay, let
people
me
in the
say.
war?
I'll let me say my piece,
No,
and you guys can
just
go
shut
on.
up.
Yeah.
Shut
Let me
up.
say my
Have you
piece, and
ever
you
been?
guys can
Chicago,
go on.
bro.
You guys never
I
been in
live
the
in
war before.
Chicago,
You
bro. I
haven't
see it
seen
every
what
day.
crime other African have done to other Africans in the past.
I
Let
see
me
it
So
say.
every
Let me
stop.
day
say
on the
my
streets
piece,
of
and you guys
Chicago.
can go
You
on.
know
You guys
nothing.
can have it. You guys can
You
have
don't
a go at it.
understand
Let me
what I
say my
see.
piece.
Just
You
mute
don't
yourself
understand
for a
what I
minute,
see.
yeah.
You don't know
All I'm
where I'm
trying to
from.
say is, all I'm saying is, I understand about the violent beats. I know the psyche. I described that earlier when I came into the conversation. But what you guys are not understanding, you're not focusing on the right things. Your minds are all over the
What
place
is the right things
because you
to
think
focus on?
you're not because you're just focusing on the violent part of it. That's the
Oh my
end.
God. That's
That's
what
part
white
of it.
folks
That's
focus on.
no, but one that's one of it.
Yeah.
It's
That's
what
not the
drives
whole
their
thing. How you gonna
science.
get violent? How you gonna what you gonna do? How you gonna build it? How you gonna
Focus,
build the
focus,
military complex?
science,
How are
Man,
you
let me
technology,
gonna achieve
fucking say
engineering,
build
something,
a
bro.
big
Like,
scale
what
and
the
the
military
fuck
rest
is this
complex?
is a
nonsense?
piece of cake.
Hey,
That can you mute that?
Casanova,
Science,
You got
Yeah.
1 minute, Africa. Casanova, don't interrupt him.
Okay, thank you. You don't have what it takes to do this violence. So don't come online and start preaching it. You never was born in a war zone. You haven't seen what other black people done to other black people, which is
Man.
brutal. You don't understand that. So you cannot
You
just
are actually
we
both
need to,
agreeing on each other, and
Oh
you're
Lord
arguing.
Jesus! Don't interrupt the guy. Africa, you got 1 minute.
all right, thank you, Dinus. So we need to stop this. If you cannot strategize and look at what you're facing, if you don't know your problems, you can never solve it. I agree with the guy totally. Like what he was saying in Burkina Faso, what Traore did, yeah, by letting the guy go. I understand it's actually bad because at the end of the day, if he made the coup against the guy must have violated some law. That guy should have been in prison. But and also not alone, he let the guy run away, and now the guy actually was using the same terrorists that he was fighting to come and overthrow Traore. So obviously you can see how desperate he was. I understand that. But the concept of us being more violent people as a human race, when I've seen what we are capable of doing to one another, trying to copycat that same stuff, to other race, I don't agree with that. I totally disagree. Thank you, Dinus.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Um,
can I
I,
can I chime in? See, international interest in terms of nations and regions is by default paranoid. It's only us that don't act like that. Any nation that interacts with other nations should be inherently paranoid. As a matter of fact, that's what Machiavelli wrote about. Yeah, and I
exactly.
remember a British a kind of MI5, MI6 kind of people, secret agents, was saying that whenever Israelis brought some gifts to them, they always bug it. That even when Netanyahu went into the Boris Johnson's toilet, when he came out, they found a bug in there. They don't trust each other. You have to be, but it's only us that seem to have these, what I call years ago, broken threat assessment. We don't seem to understand that threat is everywhere. You always have to be prepared for that day, even when it's not arrived. We tend to be reactionary. The reason why most of us are sounding a kind of in unison today now is because of the level of threat we are beginning to see out there. But if
Yeah.
Democrats were in office and hiding it, you won't notice it. And you just go to sleep and pretend as if everything is all right. But when
Thank
you
you,
should be
Tunaja.
preparing for such days, and this is the nature of things, and I agree with what Dad said about,
Thank you,
we need
Tunaja.
to start orienting ourselves towards security, because without it,
Thank,
everything else fails. All the other
thank you,
nations that are broken out of their control, all the nations that are broken out of their control, you have to choose a side. If you keep pretending as if you want to follow both sides, you are going to fail. They know that they're not stupid. Superpowers are not stupid. They arrived at that powerful position by being very, very clever people. So, like if you look at China aligned with Russia to become free. India, by and large, mostly aligned with Russia again to get what they got in terms of their nuclear technology and space program and all the rest of it. If you want to break out, North Korea, the same thing. If you want to align with the West, you can align with the West, but you better know what you're asking for. Because the Japanese aligned with the West, they got something from it for it, didn't they? The South Koreans did. The Germans did. And but we, for some reason, we don't know how to make ourselves relevant enough to what something out of there that enables us to survive and say, you know what, when you guys are fighting, if you bring your fight here, you're going to have questions to answer. You see what I mean? But right now, the way we are just sitting there like sitting ducks, and that is not good enough.
Tunaja, thank you for answering my question that I asked. When is paranoia an appropriate professional approach to take, especially when your life is on the line as well? Thank you for answering that question. And I want to say as well, I think we actually since the 80s, we have been aligning with the West, and we never benefited from it as well. We went capitalist. We opened up, as the IMF said, we opened up to the demands and all the stuff. We've never benefited from it as well. So hold on. We never benefited from it.
Are you in Russia? Are you in Russia or are you in England? That
hold on. Okay, just shut up, man. You shut the fuck up because you're not understanding. Shut the fuck up. You know. So we never African nations never fully benefited from it, right? So number two, what I'm trying to say is the world that Trump is trying to usher is a wall of global chaos in which might determines right. And right now, for people that want to talk shit about Ibrahim Traore and the AES, they look far more on the ready and they have more of a better posture to kind of resist colonialism than all these democratic nations within Africa that you're saying. Those nations have a better posture, and people are here talking about Traore.
How much is the AES spending per defense per annum? How many billions?
Did Nigeria just get bombed yesterday? You shut up. In fact, you should support Traore because he's trying to regain back your nation from the Sahel. He's trying to get back you should support Traore because he's trying to get your homeland back.
I support him. When it comes to
he's trying to make sure he regains your nation. He's trying to make sure your people regain the homeland. So shut your mouth if you support him. Shut your mouth.
No, but listen, I support him in certain aspects.
Then shut your mouth if you support him. He's doing all the best he can to get your homeland back.
Shut up, man. Why you keep shouting?
You're a fucking idiot, man. You're tapped, bro. I don't even need to talk to you, bro, because like you're tapped. You know, you're fucking tapped, you dumbass.
You see, that's the trouble. You get drunk.
Just you wait, I catch you on Keizo again. Just you wait, I catch you on Keizo again. I'll destroy you again like I did last.
Danful offers unparalleled, curated and bespoke tours across Africa. Genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshe traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Downfall. To learn more, visit downfall.africa.
Oh, there. Okay. Basically, I support Traore in terms of militarily active in helping regaining the Sahel, but I do not support certain things to do. And also, this is a problem we have with this psychophancy and this cultish supporting politicians or military leaders in Africa without, actually doing their own research. And based on everything that you see on the internet, is actually dumb. You need to be on the ground. You need to do the in-depth research, and you need to look at the ups and downs before you support. And people have the right to support other people or disagree with other leaders, without actually, being, called names. And this is the problem that we have in Africa. We can't even agree to disagree. And now our number one problem we face, our leaders have so much internal problems. They see any outsiders as a friend. And then
And
they
brother,
cannot
isn't
choose.
Traore collaborating with the Russians?
Exactly. This is
Yes,
the
and this
problem.
is the
He's working
hypocrisy
with the
of being
Russians. And
equal.
it's funny, most of these guys that are sitting there screaming on this internet, they're not living in Russia, they're living in the West. They live in
Okay, but
England, they
what
live in
about the
America
Africans that are in Russia who've been put on the front line against their
by
will? They've
force,
been forced into
being
contract by
brainwashed.
Russia,
Thank
by the
thank you.
Russian
Thank
government.
you. Exactly.
Yeah,
This is the
Russia
problem
does.
Africans have
Listen, what I'm saying is Russia does not love black people no more than
at
the West.
all.
So I don't
At
understand
all.
what this fight against the West is. Oh, the West is the big bad boogeyman. It's Donald Trump. He's
Yeah.
trying to create
Yeah.
global chaos. It's just
Yeah.
Donald Trump. It's not Putin.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
that dude in North Korea with the rockets, the rocket
I
man.
I
The,
work
the, the
I work in
Westies are
the
colonizers. They are former
Hey
but
guys,
colonizers.
let me pass
listen.
the mic to Carla Genesis. Go ahead, Carla.
Hey, yeah, I just want to, I just call it address Wildflower. Wildflower, you said Africans don't have the capacity to violence, but no, Africans don't have the capacity of violence against other people. Remember, there was 1 million people that was slaughtered in a few days in Rwanda.
No,
Uh,
it was 100,000, but that was
That's what I said.
instigated. That
oh,
was
look,
That's what
instigated
I
by
said.
France.
Black people got venom for each
African
other,
babble.
but we
I'm not
can't comprehend the venom other people got for us.
gonna say so. Hold up, and let's go on. Right, since 2009, there has been over 60,000 people killed in Nigeria for their religion. Right. In the Congo, top thousands of people died. Darfur, people are dying. All over the continent, there's wars and people are dying and everything like that.
I would like to address you once you're done.
Hold on. So what I'm saying is this: black people don't have any problem, killing other black people. That's like this. But what you have to understand is that the black people have never harmed I look at what happened to our people in Liberia. A little disagreement about history, and people were slaughtered, literally slaughtered, dragged to the polls, slaughtered. Right
On
now,
camera.
one white person have ever been killed in South Africa for political violence. None. They walk around freely. Zimbabwe, the same thing. But when it comes out to black people fighting each other, look at what Frelimo and Renamo in Mozambique. I mean, people, you want to know how many people died in that? In the Angolan War, right? Black people been killing black people for the longest time. So the Congo, Angola, all over Africa, people have died. Millions of people have died at the hands of black on black crimes. Yeah, we are capable of violence. We're just not capable of violence against
Thank
other.
you.
Can I
Thank you.
respond to that?
Thank you,
Because
Carla.
I was
Thank
cut
you.
out. I want to respond to you quickly. You said that black people have been killing other black people
Yes.
in Africa. That has happened, but you need to understand we don't kill each other because we just wanted to kill each other. We're usually paid.
What do you kill each other for?
We're
So in other
usually
words,
paid. We're
so you
usually paid by an external actor. I'm telling
raping
you,
women.
there was
Child
in Africa.
soldiers,
Can I finish? Because I wanted to respond to you, but now
like
you're not
that.
allowing
You're
me.
full of shit.
You're not allowing me to respond. I wanted to respond to you.
You sound like those Negro
All
peons
the
who want
things
to
you
just
mentioned,
destroy Africa.
you're not
Stop
letting
that.
me
Stop
talk.
that. Let the woman speak.
Glorify Africa.
You're
You
not
spoke
letting
and
me talk.
you've spoken and we listened to you. Why are you stopping her from speaking? Can't you handle what she's
Oh, go
saying?
ahead.
Yeah, man. Just shut up, man. Just be quiet when she's speaking. Simple things.
All right, go ahead. I'll let you guys. I'm not gonna start on a dying spell.
You okay?
Okay.
You gave a lot of you gave a lot of examples of African people killing other Africans. But what you need to understand, in every example, I can guarantee you that this was Western instigated. From Rwanda to what is happening in Sudan, where a black person is killing another black person in the most worst ways. But we know the Arabs are behind that. So every time we kill one another, whether it's in Nigeria, it is something to do with an outsider. And obviously,
So Africans have no responsibility.
I don't condone us killing each other, but I also hate how we betray each other for the benefits of non-blacks. We've been doing that in the diaspora, and we do that in Africa. So every time we've gone after each other, it wasn't for this group of blacks to become rich or wealthy. It's always been for the whites or the Chinese or the Russians to get wealthy. So we have no problem killing one another for the interests of non-blacks. I understand we do that a lot. But when I say Europeans have a capacity for violence that we cannot match, they are able to. What's happening in Gaza, where kids are being blown up and kids are being put in parts of a child's body is in plastic bags, and they can look away. And I'm gonna finish. What's happening in Gaza shows just a small bit of what Europeans can do. They put each other in gas chambers. They put nuclear bombs on Japan. This is the level of violence that black people, we could kill each other, but we're not throwing nuclear bombs to annihilate an entire group. We don't do that. We don't have the capacity for violence at the level. These are the people that will create viruses that only attack black people. Tell me when a black person has created viruses.
Over 500,000 people died under Idi Amin. What are you talking about?
Tell me when have black people genocided an entire non-black group?
I told you Idi Amin.
How many? I know my country, so you can't talk about Idi Amin. Idi Amin was trying to get rid of the British. You can't tell me my own history, okay? And when I tell you, Europeans have genocided entire groups globally. Match that.
Can I help you, sis? Okay. You see, when you say slavery, if you go back to pre-black,
let me speak though.
Okay, no problem. Sorry, bro. Okay, I was gonna just make her see what she's saying is wrong. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. Do you know slavery within the African continent and Europe? It's the Africans who started slavery before the Europeans. Do you know that?
That's chattel slavery. There's a difference. We were not dehumanizing each other. This was like servitude, which happened between Europeans as well, where you had to work off your debt. But what they did to diaspora, that's something different. That's dehumanization. Africans did not pick one group and say, you're not a human, you're going to be enslaved for the rest of your life. You could actually move up groups.
Can you be concise?
The Arab slavery.
So everyone else can get in.
Could I speak?
Yeah, no,
go
okay.
ahead,
you know what? I will stop. Someone else who has turned, let them go next. But yeah, I'm not going to get boxed up in that argument.
So Arabs taught Europeans how to enslave Africans. So the Arabs were the first people to enslave Africans. Those are the first enemies.
Exactly.
The first enemies of Africa come from Asia. So when Wildflower, what you be saying is impractical. You're saying we don't have the capacity and all of this. You need to understand that all humans are connected. White folks,
no, I don't know about that.
Our children.
No, we don't have Neanderthal DNA.
Hold on, sis, let him talk though, sis, please.
Wildflower. It doesn't matter what you believe. It's all about scientific.
It's not about belief. We don't have Neanderthal DNA, so we are different.
All right, but sis, let him talk though. Go ahead, land your plane, brother.
Wildflower, my ancestors were raped over here as a result of the transatlantic slave trade. And because of that, as a result of that, I have Neanderthal DNA. I'm proud of that. I believe it gives me an edge.
And many Africans also have Neanderthal DNA, by the way.
All right, but why y'all keep cutting them off though? Go ahead, brother.
So what I'm saying is, your understanding of science lacks, because if you understood science, you wouldn't use Neanderthal as if some kind of insult. That's not an insult. When you say that to white folks, they laugh because they feel that gives them the advantage.
Oh, violence. Neanderthals were very violent.
They were not these dumb creatures that
They were very violent. You should
Hold
copy
on,
history.
I think we have
Alright,
to speak
whatever.
from
What
the
my
point of
point
view of
is,
a bit of
my
knowledge.
point
I
Let
don't
him finish his
understand.
point, though.
my,
Let him
my
finish
point
Okay,
his
let
is
him
point.
finish his point, I guess.
all humans are capable of violence. All humans can comprehend violence. I don't know what this lady talking about.
But different capacity of violence. We're talking about
Listen,
dropping a
yes,
nuclear bomb on defenseless
yes,
people.
yes. If we had nuclear bombs, we would drop it on other
No,
black
you
people.
wouldn't. You'll be
Yes,
doing
we would.
holding hands. Black people have shown they don't
history
do that.
shows it.
When
We
given the
have
opportunity, you
venom
won't
for
do
our
that to
people,
non-blacks.
but we're scared of other people.
And Caution, let me correct it right quick. Sister, respectfully, do you know that it was also black Americans in complicity with white Americans that dropped nuclear bombs on Japan? So you're wrong. There have been black
But did they have
Americans
freedom in that?
that
They
were
didn't make the
complicit.
choice.
Yeah,
Black
they had
Americans
freedom.
did not
Yeah,
make
but
the
we
choice to drop
supported
the
it.
Hold on,
nuclear
let me
bomb.
answer that. Hold on,
Most
hold on,
black
hold
people
on, hold on.
supported it.
Well, can we have some organization on the panel, please? Let me respond to the sister and I'll pass the mic. It'll be brief. No, respectfully, sis, you're wrong. It was black Americans that chose to enlist in the U.S. military and chose to work for the Manhattan Project, which literally created nuclear weapons in the U.S. and bombed Japan. This is
They
a
didn't.
fact.
They did not make that decision to bomb. So I'm sure that
But
was a
sis, you
white
cannot tell
person.
me my history, sis, respectfully.
Same way, it's people on here cannot tell me my history.
Exactly. So you have to understand what I'm telling you. We as black Americans, yes, we chose to work for the US military. We were not
No, you chose.
drafted in
You
World
chose to
War.
work. You chose to work for the white man.
Exactly. Meaning that
Yep,
your
and
point.
because of that, we're the
Hold
most
That
on,
means
brother.
dangerous
Hold
that means
on.
you
people
guys are
on the
not going
Can I
to
have the
be
planet.
for
dialogue
Pan
with her?
Africanism.
Let me have
And
the
because of
dialogue.
that,
Let me
we're the
have the
most
dialogue with it.
dangerous
Hold
black
on.
people on the
Hold on.
planet.
Don't
We're the
get
only
triggered.
ones
Brother,
trained
don't
in
get
air,
triggered.
land, and sea
Brother, don't
combat.
get
Black
triggered.
America, we're
Africa
very
will not
violent.
get
Hold on, hold
anywhere
on. Don't get
without
We're the
triggered.
most
Don't
freedom.
get
violent
triggered.
black people on the planet,
Don't get
respectfully.
triggered. Hold on, because she actually just told the truth. Yes, we chose to work for the white man. She just killed herself. That means that we chose to drop bombs on Japan when we
No, no,
had
no. You
nuclear
chose to follow
capabilities.
orders. You didn't initiate the order.
Exactly. That means we
You
chose
followed orders. That means you didn't have a
and we
choice.
chose to drop them
Wildflower,
bombs on
we
Japan
participated in the Manhattan Project.
willingly.
We had scientists that participated, not in just that, the moon landing, even though I don't believe the moon landing,
Exactly.
that's another topic, but all of the science that goes into satellites and everything. Those
Working for
go
Imperius is not a flex.
Exactly.
actually
You're just doing what
And
participated
Wildflower,
you're
in
that's
just
hold on.
doing what you're not
And
doing
Lester, hold
things
on.
on your
Let
own
me wrap the
agents.
conversation up with Wildflower. That's my point. The same black Americans that Africans sold to the white man, we built the nuclear weapons that we use against Africa as leverage. If you didn't sell us, maybe
Nah.
you would have
You,
nuclear
you
weapons
you
of
keep
your
on
own
pushing.
and
You
could
keep on
defend yourself.
pushing this narrative. I
Sorry,
don't
my
Hold on.
my
understand.
bro.
Wildflower, do you understand my
Sorry, my
point?
bro. You
No,
sound
I
you sound a
don't.
little
Because it
bit
doesn't make
bitter,
any
Hold on,
sense.
man.
brother, please.
Can I just add something quickly?
You
Hold on. I'm
sound
gonna
a,
say
you
one
sound a
sentence and
bit.
pass the mic.
Yeah, you've
I'm
been
gonna say,
trying to say
Okay.
one something for
yeah, I'm
quite a
gonna say
while
It
one
now.
doesn't make
sentence
any
and
Yeah,
pass
sense.
the
yeah,
mic,
yeah.
brother.
You sound a
Let me
bit
just
bitter
complete
against the
it.
Hold on. It's
Africans
too
Let me
many
now.
let me.
people talking at
It
one
will
time.
settle. It will settle your point. It will settle
Yeah,
your point. Let me
it's
just say
one
what I.
point, and I'll pass the mic. It's one point, and I'll pass the mic.
Mulatu, just hold on. It will settle
Yeah,
your
brother,
point.
no, brother, it's
Let
one
him
Can you
point, and
finish,
I'm
just
gonna pass
stop
the
for a
Niger.
mic
Let him
to him.
second?
finish.
He's been talking for ages.
Niger.
Actually, I
Let
have
him
not.
finish.
I'm gonna
Okay.
say one point. I'm gonna say one sentence,
Point.
and I'll pass the mic.
Quick.
I promise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wildflower, with all
Go on.
due respect, if Africans didn't sell Africans to the Europeans,
You're
maybe you would
repeating
have
yourself.
nuclear
You're on
And you see
weapons.
repeat.
that?
Maybe you would have nuclear
You're on
weapons of your
repeat.
own to defend
You're on
yourself.
repeat. You're showing off
Okay.
now, working
Yes,
for
Okay.
the
and
white
that's
Now
man.
why
you
He's
made
you're
the
being
already
point.
said that. He's
neo-colonized,
just repeating himself.
and that's why
See,
you're
No.
Now you made the
neo-colonized right
point.
now. You're crying
can
about
we
it.
just
Yeah.
take it
Yeah. Do
easy?
Niger.
And
See,
Go
you're
on.
crying about
Go on
the
to Niger.
Europeans and the Asians
yeah,
in your continent
nice.
right now, and you can't
Okay,
do
Okay.
so
nothing
Yeah.
to
Go on to
stop it.
Niger.
can this
And
guy
you can't
stop?
do nothing to stop it.
He's
Check
Y'all
it.
showing
got
off. He's an
Yankees wild
FBA
up
type
in
of
here.
guy.
See, Al, you need
You
to
can't
stop
do
that.
nothing
You
to
stop
stop
me,
it.
and this guy is still
So I
going
guess
on
you'll
now.
cry forever.
Hold on,
I
Mulatu,
guess
hold
you'll
on. See,
cry forever.
Mulatu, can you stop for
Niger.
a second? What is wrong with you? Don't make me
Why you
start
don't get the
shouting.
Chinese to stop invading your
Don't
land?
make me
Remember.
start shouting. We can all start shouting here, then nobody will get any point through.
Well, why
Come on.
can't you get the Chinese to stop
Do you
Can you
invading your
remember
just
land,
stop?
that
Can
brother?
you
Kaiser?
just stop, man?
Do you remember the
See,
issue that Kaiser, so
Can
man?
any
To
African
Niger. Do you
answer this
remember
hey,
what
man, this
question?
Kaiser,
guy,
so?
your mumu is just getting
Let
out of control, man.
let
Stop,
Nigel
man.
talk.
What's
Let
wrong with
Nigel
you?
Yes,
talk.
but can any
Elijah,
can
go on,
any
go on.
Can you
African
just
Go on,
stop? You're
answer?
Elijah.
just being disruptive now. See,
One mic at a
Elijah,
the
time.
truth
pull
is
through,
that
man.
the
Why
truth is
can't
that
you stop?
To
Why
can
Nigel
can't you
this guy
stop
Morris
your
just shut
Asian
up?
being disruptive
You
from
as
can't even
well.
lead
invading your
with your
lane?
own word. I don't know why they are not muting him. He just said he was going to let me talk. He wouldn't let me talk.
Why can't
So
you? You interrupted me every
you
time
see,
I tried to say a
you
sentence.
finish talking.
No, you interrupted me every time. The question
Tonight
is,
just
Just
turn
be
to
why
talk
can't
instructional.
now.
you
There's no
stop?
point. Since it's not being controlled, there's no point. What's the point? He's just going to keep
Yes.
interrupting
Why
anybody.
can't you stop? Why can't you stop the Chinese from invading your land? Checkmate.
Malachi, let me just tell you one thing. Yeah, okay. Let me just tell you
Yeah,
one
go ahead,
thing,
brother.
All right,
Malachi.
let
What
me
you don't
say.
understand.
Any
No,
African can
I'll
It's
stop
respond.
time for
now. Let me
Tonight
say
to
what I want to
talk
do.
now. Come
Let me
on.
say my own
Tonight,
piece.
go on.
Yes. Any
Yeah,
Let me
go
say
on.
my
African
own
Tonight.
piece.
respond.
Let
Let me say
Tonight
my
do
own
the
piece.
talk. Come
So,
Yes.
one, to say that black people are incapable of committing any form of genocide is not necessarily accurate. When subject to the similar
I'm talking
conditions,
about the capacity of level of violence.
capacity is one thing, potential is another thing, and
Wi-Fi,
we
why are
right
you cutting
now don't have
everyone
the
off?
capacity. So capacity is one thing, and potential is another thing. And if we say we are black people and we are incapable, look at the most of human history that we know of. There were other hominids in the world, but when Homo sapiens, the black
Tonight,
people.
she is
Well,
completely
can
null
you let
and
me
void
finish?
of
Can you
this
let me finish? You
information
like
you're
to talk about
talking about.
science? Can you just shut up? So when
Yeah.
black people were able to
Yeah,
go
go on.
all over the world, there was no other hominids around. We basically exterminated them by inventing fire,
Brother, you're making
Guajaro
excuses.
and
Why
other
can't
things.
y'all
Can you
stop
just shut up, man? Can
foreigners
you
from
just shut up? I'm not
invading your
interested.
continent?
Hey. Can you just stop? If you want this to be rowdy, we'll do it here.
Why can't you
Okay?
stop
Can you
foreigners
just
from
stop that
invading your
now?
continent,
Okay, this
brother?
guy he wants to start nonsense. Then let's degenerate
Brother,
the
don't get
conversation now.
triggered. Don't get
Let's degenerate
triggered.
the
I'm
conversation. You're
asking.
an idiot. You're an
Why
idiot.
can't you stop foreigners from invading your
Can you
Dynasty,
continent?
just
That's all I'm
shut up?
can
You're
you
not making a lot of noise. You're an idiot.
can we get some
All right, well,
moderator to
can
please
anyone
monitor?
answer? Why can't you Africans stop foreigners from invading your
No,
You're an
continent?
idiot. So
That's
this is the
the
all I'm
point is that
asking.
stereotype of guys, so
what
he's
we are
just here
supposed to be focusing on now, what
to
we are supposed to
distract
be
the
Can any
focusing
of
discussion.
you
on is that,
answer this?
see, we shouldn't be arguing the point that okay, we are incapable of doing
Malachi, I'm
the
begging
kind
you,
of
yeah,
the
leave it,
kind
man.
of
Hey,
Let,
destruction.
let,
I
let the
got
other
to read
brother
these super
answer. Let
chats.
the other brother
JC Inc.,
answer.
thank you for $1 holla. Black and
He's
Another
just here
Power,
to
not
block people from
Africanism and
talking.
Kumbaya. JC Inc., thank you for the $49 holla. We're not the gentle only when it comes to Europeans. African tribal wars preceded Europeans' invasion is survival of the fittest. Stop crying.
Yeah, only a fool
Really?
would think that
Stop
it's not
crying.
survival of the fitness. So the point is that Africans are capable of doing it, and the only potential we have the potential, but right now we haven't got the necessary drive to be able to pull that kind of stuff off. Because any African leader that does try to do the things that is required to transform that continent or transform the community, we ourselves will put that African leader down because we think this is so evil. We can't tolerate such. If you hear what the kind of statement that Wildfire is stating, you will because she believes that we are incapable of doing something like that. And if you don't
Because
think
that's
we're
the
I,
incapable of doing
evidence,
something like
bruh.
that,
I haven't seen us
That's what
do
she
things like
incapable of.
Exactly.
yes,
There's no evidence that
because
you're
we have not
capable.
seen us do it
And she
doesn't
just
mean we're.
psychologically.
Brother,
the
there's no
reason why
evidence that you're
we are
capable.
why are we dominated if we're capable of doing that? Because the only people that are
Exactly.
dominating the world are the ones that
You
can
know
do
what
the most
someone once
violence.
said? Someone once said that if you want to be good, you have to be ready to be evil first. Then when you take charge, then you can be good. Then because the world right
Brother, can
now
you answer her
demands that you
question
are
though?
able to respond. No. The world right now
She
demands that you
asked a
are
valid
actually
question,
capable of
brother.
doing. See, we are in a world where there are continent killers out
Brother,
there.
pass the mic. Someone else answer.
Can you just shut
Why
up? Can you
can't
just shut up?
Africans stop
You've been making a
foreigners
lot of
from
Let
noise.
invading
let
You've been
tonight
Africa?
making
just
a lot of
finish his
noise.
point.
You're making a lot of noise. We are in a
He's
world
booty
where there are,
clapping right now, respectfully.
can you just shut up?
All right,
We
go
are in
ahead,
a
make
world
your
where there are
point. Goddamn.
continent killers. We are in a world where there are continent killers out there. So you have to be able to respond to that level of threat. After you respond to that level of threat, then you can start singing kumbaya and whatever else you want to do. Because if you don't, you'll be cancelled out as one of the others have lost. And then they will reign supreme. And in the end, they may even
Brother, land
end
your
up
plane because you're not
exterminating.
answering her question.
Can you just shut up, please? And in the
Please,
end,
brother,
if
land
you
your
let
plane.
them win, they may result in the extermination of the human race itself. And that is consequential because the direction we are going right now with the advancement of technology, that's the direction we are heading. These crazies are the ones that are running the show. Thank you.
Well, the Native Americans almost gone. I think we're going to be next.
Can anyone answer her question? Because it's a valid question. Why
Can I get my
can't
talking time?
Africans stop
Shut
foreigners
up.
from
Yeah, that's
invading
your own
Africa?
question.
It
Shut
keeps
up your mouth.
Pan Malata's FBA. Just see annoying people.
The
You
question
just
is,
hear
why
annoying
can't
Can
people.
I get my talking
Africans
time?
why
Why would
can't
Yeah,
anybody
let,
Africans
answer
let,
stop
such a
let,
mumu
foreigners from
question?
invading Africa?
Can I get my
let the
talking
next
time,
person
please?
speak now.
Yeah, please, because
Oh, so
been
I guess I
patient.
don't have an answer. All right, go ahead, brother.
Let me. I mean, Mr. Mulatto, right? If you think Africans are
Peace.
decent, if you think Africans are this and that, right? Africans can defend themselves and stuff like that. I double dare you, right? Let me speak as a Black American, the way you guys speak, right? I
Yes.
double dare you, right? Go pick up arms, go to Mali, go to Burkina Faso, go to Niger, and try to overthrow those
We
guys.
already got military bases throughout Africa,
No, you
brother.
don't. No, you guys don't.
It's called
Okay, I'm talking about
AFRICOM.
those three countries.
We just
But
bombed
anyway, let me
Nigeria,
get to my
brother.
point. Man. Let me get to my point, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah. Run away
You
from
see
that,
why? You
brother.
see why he's
Because it's
saying all
I
that
cooked.
listen.
because he
I
represents
gotta
Western
let me
interests,
say
so that's why
something.
he's
He's
just
saying
disturbing
he's
everybody.
saying we. That means he identifies with the white
My
man.
tax dollars did
Yeah,
it.
Let
that's
me
why
say
Yes.
he's
something.
disturbing us. That's why he doesn't want
My
us to
tax
speak
dollars
clearly.
did it.
Man, can I get 2 minutes, man? And then after that,
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Y'all
You
mad
shouldn't. You
because
should
we
not
got the most
address it.
dangerous black people
yeah,
on the
I'm
planet.
gonna be
That's what
quiet
y'all mad at.
because because the guy that tried to unalive Ibrahim Traore, the coup attempt, right? I think Dami Ba, whatever he is, right? Because I hear a lot of time misinformation from a lot of people. Some people they just hate because I am a Fulani man. I'm not gonna hide it, right? The
You
last
just
time I
got
heard,
bombed by the U.S.
hold on,
You
the last
literally
time
just got bombed, brother. You need
no,
to go
let me
help your
God
people.
damn, let me finish, man.
Go pick your
Captain
people up,
America, man.
brother.
Mulatto,
God
shut
damn, let me
up.
finish.
Jesus,
God
you're
Go
being
help
a
your people,
nuisance.
brother. They just got
damn,
bombed by
let
the
me
U.S.
finish.
government.
Okay.
You should go to your
All right,
AFRICOM camp
let
instead
him
of
twerk.
being here and being a
Let him twerk.
nuisance.
All right, let him twerk. Go ahead.
Come on.
Can you let it
Yeah,
speak,
man. So
please?
I'll give some money to your girlfriend after that.
No one
You know,
laughed.
Yeah,
you
go
know, you
on.
know,
It's
Yeah, go
not a
on. Speak,
laughing
man.
matter when your people getting bombed. Respectfully.
that the guy Dummy Bob, right? He's not a Fulani guy. He's a Moist guy, right? So imagine if Dummy Bob was a Fulani guy. So all these Fulani guys, Fulani people, haters, right? They have a personal agenda, come on social media, make up all these lies and stuff like that. And then once again, the army general of Burkina Faso, the entire army general, is a Fulani man. He was picked by Ibrahim
Yeah,
Traore. So
Diallo,
people need to
Diallo.
understand this, right?
Why can't
So the
y'all
Fulani
stop foreigners
haters,
from invading
the
In fact,
Africa,
Fulani
the girl,
brother?
haters,
in
they're
fact, the
going
girl that
on
saved, in
social
fact, the girl
media.
that decided, in
Yup,
fact, the girl that designed the AI kits that saved him
yup. The
was a
Fulani
Fulani girl
haters,
in the
especially
university,
the ones that
in
come
the in
from,
the Fulani,
It's two people
especially the
who
ones that
talking
come,
and
Fulani
neither
girl
one of y'all got the
who,
answer.
especially the ones that come
no,
from
but I'm just agreeing
some
with
part
him.
of
He's right.
It's two
Nigeria.
Africans
The
talking and
Fulani
neither one of y'all
haters.
got the answer.
Oh,
Why
hold on,
can't
man.
y'all
Be
stop
quiet.
foreigners
God
from
damn it,
invading
man.
Africa?
You have your president. Come on, man.
Malatu. He was
Let people talk.
Traore was saved by a young Fulani girl in the
Yes.
university who designed the AI
See,
drone, yeah, and
And did
saw
that stop the
the threat coming
Chinese?
from miles away.
Did that stop the
Koto,
U.S. from
Koto,
bombing
Uh,
Koto, Koto,
Nigeria?
Koto. Let me say something real quick, man.
but
Koto,
this
Koto,
is the things that
Koto,
we're
Koto,
talking about,
Koto.
the nitty gritty of
Yeah, Koto,
defense.
Exactly.
Koto, Koto.
So
Yeah,
Let me
you
say something
understand?
real
why
quick,
can't
right?
Go
Let me
Africans
on, go
finish.
on.
stop
Let me finish.
foreigners
I'll
from
be quiet.
invading
I'll be
Africa,
quiet.
brother?
I'll be
Can you
quiet.
let him speak? Let him speak. Let him
Yeah,
speak. Let him speak.
Hopefully he can answer that. Go ahead, brother.
Mm.
because the last time there was a guy up here, his name was CJ or CP, whatever he was. He was saying all these things, right? All these things, whatever. Like his people came from in Nigeria, he tried to hide it as well, right? But to tell
Brother,
these
did you
people,
forget the question?
man, shut
Why
the fuck
can't
up, man.
Africans stop
Goddamn.
foreigners from
Malatu, can you
invading
just stop
Africa?
interrupting people, man? Malatu,
So
literally
I guess
ask
I
like,
said to
when he
hell with
finished.
it.
I'm at the
No,
job.
when he finished.
You
Okay,
have
you
no
want Malatu. Let
self-defense
him just finish.
instincts?
Please,
Okay,
please,
yeah.
please,
Do
Go on,
y'all
man.
have
just
any
Go on,
1 minute.
go on.
self-defense instincts?
Please give me 1 minute,
Go
man.
on, go
Please.
on,
All right, go
go
ahead,
on.
brother.
Speak.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So, because the last time I heard this guy come up here, the CK or CP, whatever he was, right, spreading all type of propaganda and stuff like that, saying, "Oh, the reason why what's his name? Tinubu did not invade Niger during that time. It was because of the Sokoto Caliphate told him to stop it," which is completely lie. Because 2 weeks ago, Assimi Goita came out when he had an interview. He said the president of some country called him and asked him, "How serious are you if we do invade Niger? Would you intervene?" Then Assumi Goita said yes. That's why they did not intervene with Niger during that time when they had the Mali coup. But then this Nigerian man, wherever his people came from, on social media spreading all these lies because it was the Fulani and so and so. Just like I just said, right? The army general of Burkina Faso,
Bro, pass the
he's
mic.
a
You're not
Fulani
answering the
man.
question, brother. Please.
He's
So
right.
so so so
He's
people need
right.
to understand what's
All
really
right.
And
going on.
he's the guy that's helping. He's the guy that actually
Exactly.
leading most of the
He
battle
was
that's going
chosen
on in
by
Burkina
Abraham
Faso right
Brother,
Traore.
now.
can anyone answer why Africans cannot stop foreigners from invading
My
Africa?
Listen there.
brother, open your
That's all
arms
I'm
and go fight
asking,
this man
brother.
and see what's gonna happen to you, man. You up here,
That's
I
all
said,
I'm asking,
you up
brother.
here, asking all these
Brother,
retarded
the
questions.
U.S. just
Come
bombed
on,
your
man.
country,
That's
brother.
not your
You
country.
cannot
Oh,
talk
listen,
tough.
listen, listen, listen,
The
listen, listen,
U.S. just bombed your
listen.
I gotta pass it to Prince Steve. Go ahead, Prince Steve.
All right, I'm back.
So my big thing, I want to correct Pam Mulattoism. It wasn't it wasn't African Americans that made the decision to drop the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Actually, I remember watching a documentary, and it was two white pilots that actually dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The other thing is African Americans. There were African Americans that did enlist in that war, but a lot of people were drafted. They had no choice at all. The other
So you
thing
agree
is
some had a choice, right?
some had a choice. Like my
All right.
grandfather, my grandfather,
Exactly.
he signed up. He was in the World War II. He was a World War II vet, and he
Exactly.
signed up and he joined.
And
But
they chose
he
to help
he
develop
he
the
he
nuclear weapons,
he,
right?
he was not allowed to choose his MOS. They put him in infantry, and he had no choice.
But
And
he
the other
chose to
thing is
enlist though,
that
right?
like the other thing, no, brother, but see, the other thing is, brother, back then, just like now, brothers enlist for different reasons. I enlisted in the military. We enlist for different
Exactly.
reasons because
It's
of the
still a
benefits.
choice though, brother. Let's not argue.
No. We don't really want to go to war. A lot of us don't really want to go to combat. The other
It's
You
an
thing
chose
is,
to
economical
enlist,
situation.
brother.
right.
Exactly.
The
They don't want
military,
to go to war. They just like
But you
yeah,
sports
chose to
because they don't know nothing
enlist.
about war. All they know is
But
sitting
but
there and
but but
typing the keyboard.
is it a bad thing
They know
for
nothing.
War
them
is
to
life.
join the military though?
Everything about life
Is it
is
no,
war.
can I just ask the question? Is it necessarily a bad thing for them to join the military? Because the more you have your own people in the military, maybe that is not always a bad thing. You see what I mean?
You see, you see the
Yeah,
problem we're
Steve,
having.
I don't know why you trying to
You see the problem we
downplay
have
our role.
in West Africa. The problem we have in West Africa is this new internet age and all this
I'll
propaganda that's
be
going
I'll
on
be
online.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
military here is a cheat code to success in America.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
go in the military, and you
It's an
spend 20
economic
years
it's
in,
an economic opportunity for a lot of people.
right, you get it, you get
Exactly.
you get a pension.
African goddess, African white flower. Yeah. Let me tell you one
Hello.
thing about West Africa. Yeah. Let me tell you one thing about West African history. West African people are there for a reason. These people are people that are actually came from different tribes that are based on warrior tribes. These were warriors who fought battles. Like what you see in the Sahel today is nothing new. People on the internet don't understand anything about the Sahel. The Sahel
But
always had wars.
but the Sahel,
They
these
have
people
peace, they
are
have
practicing
war,
some kind
they
of
have peace,
Islam.
they have
So
wars, they have
mhm.
peace, they have war, and
But
they
the religion
not
is
only
kind of foreign though. The
that's
religion is kind of foreign.
that's new. That's new. That's new. That came around probably later on, right? The Arabs and the Christianity came there, and Islam came there later on. But before that, we practiced our own religion. The times that we fought most of the wars of repelling invaders were the time of Islam. That's the time,
And
and that's
allow me
because
to respond to the brother
no,
Prince
no,
Steve.
Malato, no, you
It'll
can't
be
say
Let
that.
him
brief.
Wait,
finish his point.
you know,
It'll be brief.
so
All right, well go ahead, finish your
the
point, I'll go next. Go ahead, brother.
remember the only group of Africans who actually were a part of the Spanish conquest were with the West African and the Tuaregs. These are the people who actually fought and a tough battle. In fact, these are the people. The Fulani cavalry are the reason why the Almoravid were actually successful in conquering Spain because they tried it loads of times. They couldn't do it. The reason why West Africa was liberated, by by the Fula, the Mandinka, and these are the two main tribes, from the French and the English, is because they fought the battle. They did not just sit down and just say, we have to wait for Nelson Mandela to come out of prison and help us out. We didn't do that. We have to fight the battles. We know people
Yes.
that laid their life for that. We commemorate them. We still remember them. And some people worship them. If you go, you understand what I'm saying? So it's
And
like
every and
it's like a
let's
different
be brief
mindset.
because
We
you
have a
see
different
it's
mindset.
a number of different
Yeah,
people on the panel. So Prince Steve, with
yeah,
all due
that's true.
respect,
That's true.
Prince Steve,
So
you
No, no,
actually
we
no,
have a different
Pam
mindset
Mulatto,
oh,
in
all
my
right.
bad,
Well,
Africa.
my bad.
whoever
I
next,
stepped
God
away.
damn it.
You keep interrupting
Mm.
people. Let them talk. Go ahead, Africa.
So
Well, they
so
interrupted me multiple
yeah.
times, but go ahead.
So okay, so when you talk about slavery, also as I said to you, we the people that started slavery, then the other races came over. In fact, what black people don't understand, the reason why we suffered, in terms of in the hands of Europeans, is because of the Almoravid dynasty, the conquest of Spain, because we retreat back and they chased us back, and they done the same thing we did to them, and it's like a payback time for them, and it's a long history. It's gonna continue, but we need to actually start thinking inwards. You know, like for example, you know, what people are doing in the continent of Africa in terms of building what they can, you know, to maintain their own security and protect their people. Otherwise, we're going to be doomed. Malato, you need to stop. You know, we African Americans were part of the system that the West created. That's what enabled them to be part of the game. But they weren't the decision makers. And one thing we should learn how to deal with, you know, freedom without fighting. Also, we need to learn about Sierra Leone history. You know, without fighting the enemy or for the enemy, without being too emotional. We have to be very strategic. I think the Sierra Leoneans, the African American or the Caribbean or Maroons who came to Sierra Leone, they were one of the smartest black people and were one of the greatest warriors, I can say, who led to a lot of the freedom of black people around the world today. But it's something that we can come back to one day because those people, the Sierra Leonean slaves, who were the people who were brought back to Sierra Leone as free slaves, these people fought for the British crown in America to keep America under the British crown, right? So when they lost the battle, they brought them to the UK, and some of them were repatriated from other parts of the Caribbean back to Sierra Leone. And because of that, the British managed to build a base in Sierra Leone called the Wilberforce to actually police slave trades to stop it because they feel like they have some sort of alliance and trust with these former people. We can do that. So we need to go back to our history and learn from where we came from. Yeah, like what Dinah did. He went to the Mali. A lot of people talk about Mali Empire and they've never been to Mali Empire. It's part of the Mali Empire. You need to go and learn from your history and see how these things are evolving over times, you know, and learn from how you're going to, take yourself out of this situation and prevent yourself from being annihilated again.
Well,
Simple
we
as
need
that.
to practice
Well,
self-defense and
well, go
self-preservation.
ahead, sis. Let me come after you. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
We don't do
just go on. Yeah, thank you.
self-preservation. We don't do any self-defense most of the time. That's why people can just walk into the continent and just take what they want, beat up who they want. And then we don't react, but we kind of like let some of our anger out on each other. But we don't have any sort of strategy. There's no
Yeah, because
strategy
we
to
have
how do you
everything. That's
defend the
why.
continent.
Hold on.
We have
Let her
we
play because I'm
we
next. Go ahead,
yeah,
sis.
Definitely.
we have the youngest population on the planet, but are we going to use those young people to be in the army? What is the plan for them? Or are they just going to be going to the mosque and church? How are we going to use our young people? Because we are the youngest continent. So that's a lot of manpower. Are they going to be training to be in the army to defend the continent? Or are they just going to just sit there? That's the question.
And
I think maybe
Prince T,
if you want to
hold
truly
on,
transform the.
brother, please. You
Okay,
see,
go
it's an
ahead.
order. With all due respect, Prince T, two things very quick. Actually, you agree with my point. My point still stands. Not only did Black Americans enlist willingly into World War One and World War Two, Black Americans willingly chose to work for the Manhattan Project that developed the nuclear weapons that bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That's
Haven't you already
irrefutable.
said that? Are you being repetitive?
Hold on,
Do we need
brother. Have
do we
some
Stop the
need
cap,
an
decorum,
man.
brother.
advert?
Stop the cap. Stop
Do
the
we need an
cap, man.
advert from you
Stop
Hold
the
every
on,
half
cap,
brother.
an
man.
Have
Stop
some,
the
hour?
have
cap.
some decorum,
Stop
Will
the
brother.
you
cap,
shut
man.
up? Will you
All
stop
right,
disturbing this
well,
place?
brother.
Just here to
Stop the
Will
cap.
support.
you
Let,
will
let
you
me land my
even
You talking
plane. I
about
would have
willingly?
would
already
you even
landed
Y'all
my
kill
was
plane.
fighting World
yourself
War II.
just for
I
the
don't know
sake
why
of
you're triggered.
Stop the cap, man. Stop the cap.
triggered? It's just
Yeah. So the
you just
question
talking
is,
shit the whole time,
so
You
the
mate.
gonna use the
question
You're
is,
adjective
full
and
of
say
poison.
willingly? Are you
You've
and let
been
me
crazy?
say
eating
one sentence.
honey
Willingly?
Let me say
that has
one
been
sentence.
poisoned.
Willingly? What
You
happened
Let
to
are
me
not
say
of
one
this planet.
sentence.
Muhammad Ali?
You have
Hey, yo, yo,
All
yo,
right.
derailed
yo,
this
The
yo,
whole
yo,
question
yo.
is,
Is
Hey,
conversation.
that
hey,
willingly?
hey, hey, hey,
Y'all
hey,
know
hey.
this nigga
You
a
have
true
one mic
hater.
at
derailed
a
the
time,
whole
Hey,
brother.
hey,
One
hey,
conversation
mic at
hey,
a
hey,
time.
with
hey,
your
hey,
inane,
What you talking about?
hey,
inane
hey.
commentary.
All right. So the
Ridiculous
question is,
rubbish.
why
Y'all
can't
talking over
Africans
each other.
stop foreigners from
Rubbish upon
invading
rubbish
Africa?
and more
Brother.
rubbish on top of that rubbish. Just
But
to
why
some
are you
more
so
rubbish.
Malato,
triggered? The
Why are
question
you
Malato,
so
is,
Malato,
triggered?
Malato,
let me
You
say,
speak like
well, no,
a
you cannot cut me off to
10-year-old.
ask me a
You
question.
speak like a child.
I'm
You
saying
are
one
not
sentence.
of this age group. You are
Why
not of
we,
this
can't
we don't want that.
consciousness.
Africans?
You are not
Let
of
me
I'm
this
one
say
of the
one
few
intellect.
sentence.
people.
You are
Have
a
some
He
I,
a
decorum,
I,
weak
fucking
brother. Have
infiltrant.
some
He
dumbwit.
wearing a
decorum.
white.
You are a
Come
dunce.
Have
on.
some
brother,
And you
decorum,
are a
Hey,
student
y'all
and
talking
look,
dumpster
over each
y'all
other too
notice
upon
much,
I'm not
man.
crying for
the
the
audience.
moderator. Y'all say I'm not
Upon the
crying for the
audience, you are doing
moderator.
zero. You give
The
us
question
nothing.
is,
You
why
are
can't
worthless.
Africans
Your
stop
words
foreigners from
and all
invading
your idiotic
Africa?
questions have amounted to
All right, but
zero.
what's the answer,
And the
brother?
zero nature of your being
Why
has not
can't
dawned upon you to
Africans
go and kill
stop
yourself. It's
foreigners
the
from
best thing that
invading
you can
Africa?
do. It's my
Mulatto,
personal
Yeah, so
can
advice.
you be quiet? Come on.
Why
Which one?
can't Africans
Mulatto, be
stop
quiet.
foreigners?
Stop stunting
Y'all
the
interrupted me.
conversation.
Y'all interrupted me.
You
I'm
no,
asking a
you are the
question,
one just making noise and
but
repeating the
you
same stuff
interrupted
over and
me.
over again.
I had the
You
floor.
know,
Y'all
you are not
interrupted
being
me.
muted. I guess this is a kind of
No,
this
you're
is show for
interrupting
you.
me.
Hey,
I
hey,
had the
hey,
floor.
It's a
Mulatto,
free for
Mulatto,
all.
Yeah, I had the
Just
Mulatto,
here
floor.
to
You
insult
interrupted
Mulatto,
me.
people.
Mulatto. This is from
No, you
somebody
cannot
that's in
interrupt me
America.
when I'm asking a
Mulatto,
question.
Mulatto. This is the brother from America.
Oh,
Here,
go
I'm
ahead,
in.
brother. What's happening?
I'm,
Even though you interrupted
I'm
me, but go ahead, brother.
no. Mulatto, right now, this is a Pan African channel, dog. And right
Clearly.
now, you don't sound like a Pan African. You
Exactly,
sound
but
like
I'm asking a Pan-African question
hey,
though.
hey, hey,
The
hey,
question
hey,
is,
hey.
why can't Africans stop foreigners from invading Africa?
Bro,
well,
he is
well,
a
okay.
Tariq
Can I answer your
infiltrator. He
question, then,
keep talking about
Mulatto?
Can
land
anybody answer
bridges,
that?
but he
Yeah,
keep
Can
yeah, I
talking
can.
anybody
about
answer
Okay,
that
land.
Mulatto.
question?
This is a
Can I
Tariq
can I
It's
answer?
very
infiltrator.
All right,
Okay,
but
obvious,
can
Mulatto.
isn't it?
anyone answer
It's
that
very, very
question?
obvious
He's
answer
wearing
now.
a wire.
Yeah,
That's
Mulatto. If
that's a
I
silly
answer it, will
question.
you
It's
stop?
such an
If I
obvious
answer it, will you
answer.
Yes,
stop?
please answer the question, brother. Go ahead.
Bro,
Would you stop?
you've ruined this whole discussion.
Let the brother answer the
Would
You
you
really
question.
have. I mean, I came
would
on
you
board
stop?
because I thought you guys were being sensible. I thought you were sharing knowledge.
I
I thought you
know,
were
I
speaking
know,
All
the
right,
I
but
truth.
let
know.
the
He's
brother
Sorry,
here
answer
to
the
And then
turn the
all of a
question.
sudden,
conversation. That's what he's here to do.
for the past hour, I've been quiet and listening. And I'm thinking,
yes.
who is coming with any consciousness here? Is what's been asked here reasonable for our time? This is time that we're
Yeah,
speaking
it's
about.
very reasonable.
You
It's
have
about
taken
Right.
an hour
self-defense.
and you have disrupted and interrupted and spoken foolishness upon this climate. And I'm thinking,
Yes.
the best
Yes,
thing
you
you can
did.
do is kill yourself. You are not supposed to be here. You should go and kill
Yeah.
yourself. That's what
Because
you
he's
should
not
take
Mulatto.
the
happy.
time and
Mulatto.
do.
He's not
All
in
right,
the
but
Rubbish.
can
black.
You're just
anyone
saying
answer the
rubbish.
question though?
Go and
Let's
kill
try to rein
yourself.
ourselves in. Let's rein
Yeah,
ourselves
please,
in,
someone
please.
answer the
Go and
question.
kill yourself.
Why
You
Mulatto,
can't
if I
stupid
answer the
Africans
person.
stop
question.
foreigners
You
from invading
absolutely
Africa?
inane individual.
Okay.
The sperm
The
volume
answer is
is
that
immense.
Let
They're
the
waiting
brother answer the
for them.
question though. Let the
And
brother
I,
answer.
Jago,
Pull your skirt
let me
down.
rubbish.
answer let
Pull
me
your
answer his
skirt down,
question
brother.
so he can go.
Yeah, go ahead,
Rubbish.
So
brother.
What
he's,
level of
he's going to
rubbish?
ask it again. He's been asking it forever. Even if you answer it
Let's
this
hear the
time,
You're
he's
answer
going
going
to
though.
to ask
answer rubbish.
Let's hear the
Why,
answer.
are
Listen,
you answering rubbish? Are you an
Jago, you
idiot?
should know how to deal with them
Let the brother
because you should
answer
know how
though.
to
Let
deal
him
with them,
answer.
man.
Let the
You know
brother
how to
do
do.
what? For who?
Don't
For
respond to him.
you? Are you
Don't respond
are
to
you the
him.
master of this
Don't respond
conversation?
to him. Don't respond to
Are
him.
you the master
Jago,
of the
Don't
conversation?
respond to him.
Then
see,
talk
Al,
rubbish.
Let the brother answer the
don't
Nothing
question.
to
respond
add.
to Al. Just ignore
Mulatto is
him. Let's
not
move
black.
on.
I'm out of here, man.
All right,
Mulatto
but
is
No,
let the
I
not
just
brother
want
black.
him
answer
to
the
go. I
question
just
though.
want
Let
him
him
to.
answer.
I want him
Deal
to
with the
go.
African problem. To deal with the African problem,
Yeah.
we just need to first of all have a
Mm,
kind of trade between each other, because given where we are right now,
yeah.
we don't even trade with
Brother,
each
let the
other
brother answer
properly.
the question.
Can
You
you
don't
just
have
shut
the
up?
answer.
I'm not interested in your answer.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
because
Let the other brother answer.
what I've
Yeah.
seen in Africa is that we are too
Mm,
divided. You'll be surprised.
yes.
Crossing borders alone is difficult, not to mention forming alliances the way the Sahel nations did, which is what we are
Yeah.
supposed to do. But I think
Yeah.
that because of the way the Western powers are, it kind of stratified African countries, we have to start
Mm,
breaking some barriers first. Maybe the ones that they cannot recognize. We have to move in ways they cannot be able to disrupt this in our kind of progress.
So if I'm clear, this is why you can't
right.
stop foreigners from
So
invading Africa.
I think we need to trade, and I think we need to
yeah.
exchange a kind of, you know how you have all these university and technical exchange, scientific research. We have to exchange
Yeah.
because we have
Yeah.
this language barrier too. There's a lot of barriers in Africa that we
Of
forget that
Oh,
course.
so
Of
y'all
it's
can't
course.
stop
actually
foreigners
present.
from invading Africa because y'all
Yeah.
speak different
Uh,
languages? Is that what it
There are
is?
barriers. There are barriers. You'll be surprised because look at when Nigeria talks right now. We don't even talk as if Benin Republic
It's
is next
only
to us.
barriers
We
for
talk as
black
if
no.
Ghana.
people in
No,
Africa.
let me explain to you. We
There are
talk as
no
if
Brother, you're
Ghana
not
barriers
is
for
answering
next
the
to us,
Trinidad.
question.
not
Brother,
Benin
you're not
Republic.
answering the
Ain't no
question.
I'm
barriers
not
for
Can
answering your
anyone answer
question.
the
Uganda.
question?
Who said I was answering your
Can
question? You people.
anybody answer the
Nigga
Ain't
care
question?
no
about answering your
barriers for the
question.
white
You know
Why
the
man.
answer
can't
to your question.
Africans stop foreigners from invading Africa? Simple question.
Why why
But
would I
we
answer
don't
you?
have the latest equipment. We don't have the best
because
defense
we're too,
equipment.
number one,
Oh, the
we're being
woman
too up.
answered. Wildflower, answer that again. Peace be
That's
upon
not
you.
an that's an answer. It's an obvious
We don't
answer.
have the right defense equipment to defend our nations
Right
or our
That's
now,
not
Oh,
true.
but why y'all
now,
not
now,
What it
developing this then?
is they
So why y'all
won't
not
that's
form
what
developing
we're
it?
talking. That's what we're
we don't
talking
have
about. Remember, I just
industry
right
said
to
to
earlier.
develop. We don't
defend.
have the industry to develop weapons.
That's not
My,
true.
my
That's
last
So
not
why
word.
y'all
true.
don't
My
move
last
back to
word.
Africa and develop that industry?
Oh, we're working on it. Don't worry.
You're in
Oh,
Europe right
yeah.
now. You in Europe right
Mulatto,
now?
mulatto. Why you can't take
You
your ass
could buy
over
a
there?
plane ticket
You
back to
could you
Europe
could take
tonight.
your ass to Ghana,
He ain't
dog,
working on the damn
with
thing.
your
Shit,
I'm
black
not
blooded
African.
self.
I'm American. I'm American.
You American?
We're all right.
Nigga, I'm
We're all right.
American. I'm American too.
Exactly. So, nigga, why you not in Ghana? Checkmate.
I can go. I'm African descent.
Okay, but why you not
Did
over
you
there?
know you can go there too? But you
I've been
deny your
there.
Africanness.
Yeah, I've
You
been there, but
deny
I'm
the
not
fact that you
African.
African.
everybody
You
you
got to
deny
know,
the fact
I'm
that
a
you
you
mulatto,
African.
know,
brother.
If you
people
take
like
a DNA test,
mulatto.
it's gonna have some
People,
fucking
you
African
And
blood
it's
know,
in
gonna
it.
have some European too. Checkmate.
I've
Come
had,
on, bro.
I've
You
had,
go back
And
to
it's
I've
my
had,
gonna have
I've
brother.
some
had.
Native
You racist
American too.
yourself then.
Hold on,
Exactly.
You
So
hold
let
on,
the
racist
hold on.
self.
let
You
the
ain't
Let me put
self-racist.
one
Africans
mine up then.
hold on.
Why you
Let the
want to deny
Africans
your
answer the
African
question for
heritage, dog?
themselves. Hold
Why
on,
you want
brother.
to
You don't
deny
got
your
a booty
African
clap.
heritage?
Mulatto. Your
Steve, you
point
don't got
always
a booty
comes
clap
down
for the
to
Africans.
your point
Let the
always comes down
Africans
to
answer
what
the
are you
Deny
doing in
question.
the West?
yourself?
Why are you not in Africa? And you talk as if it's only
Uh-huh.
the Westerners, they are the only ones that are allowed to go to other people's country and make progress for their own people. But when
But you
somebody else
cannot
is doing
defend your
it,
own
you tell
country
them
though.
to go back to their own country. See,
Africa
hold
not
on,
But
hold
you
on.
Mulatto,
cannot
what's up,
In
bro?
defend your own country.
Let me finish
Africa
now.
not
So
a country.
in
You
terms of
cannot
defending our
defend
own
your own
country, we
country,
already know
brother.
what the issue is. If you go to my channel, you see that the first topic I had was
You
about the
ran
ability
away
for our
and your
people not
country
to be able
cannot
to
defend
defend
itself,
themselves.
brother.
Can you just stop? See, I already know the topic you are discussing, and you
Uh-huh.
already know the answer. If you want to go and learn,
Man,
go
stop
and
being
watch
civil with
my
this man.
first video. So don't even
Why
bother.
Stop
y'all
being
not
civil with him.
developing a defense
Stop being
mechanism?
civil with
Why did
this
y'all
man.
run away?
He's
Can
not
you
here to
stop?
be
You're
civil.
just making noise. You're not serious.
Tunaja, Tunaja,
All
he's
of
not
y'all
here to be
cut me
Tunisia,
off
civil.
and I'm not
Tunisia.
mad. I'm
He's not
asking,
here to be
Okay,
why y'all
civil.
not developing a
He's not
defense
here to be
mechanism to
civil.
protect Africa?
He's not here to be
okay.
civil.
Can I finish?
Stop
Can
trying to
I?
be nice with
I
this
just gave you
man.
an
Can
example
anybody answer
earlier.
that?
Stop trying to be
Yeah,
nice with this
Malachi.
man.
Yeah,
Okay,
brother, I'm
Malachi.
listening,
I'm
brother.
just
Go
giving.
ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. I just give an example earlier when my brother Ben came on. I said when people talking about Burkina Faso and all the propaganda and all this tribalism that is spewing, I said people don't people basically the current military head, as he was saying to you, who actually managed to regain a lot of the grounds, who control Burkina Faso military as we speak, is a Fulani guy, right? And the girl that I saw that in the thingy, basically the girl that who created the drone, who saved the president, the Traore, few times, from foreign, things from being assassinated, was a Fulani girl from the Burkina Faso University who
Man, they
created
gonna
that.
slap
So there
that
are people
nigga.
in Africa who creating little bits as we can. As my sister said to you, we don't have
Exactly.
the equipment, we don't have the know-how yet.
No,
Time
brother, I heard
Not
that
is
even
part.
that
that. It's not
is
even
not
that.
Did you
on
hear
our
my
It's
side.
not even that.
response?
It's
Yeah,
not even that.
yeah.
What this man gotta
Mm,
understand is right. We're not
All right,
fighting
go ahead,
mm,
these
brother.
people. We don't
Go ahead.
fight your black
mm.
Americans. We fight the people that control your country.
No,
You
you
do not
don't.
control
The
this country.
Chinese is in your
You do
country
not
right
control
now.
this
No,
The
country.
U.S.
no, no,
just
no, no. The
bombed
Forget my
Chinese.
Nigeria.
coincidence. We're not fighting
The
you.
U.S.
We
just
fighting
bombed
your master.
Nigeria,
So
brother.
be quiet. Be
Okay,
quiet.
okay.
The
Be quiet.
U.S.
Okay. Let
just
me
We're not
just
bombed
fighting you.
Nigeria,
So
brother.
shut up. So
Mulatto,
shut up.
mulatto, mulatto. The
The
U.S. been in
U.S. just
So
Nigeria.
shut
bombed
up, man.
Okay.
Nigeria,
We
brother.
not fighting
Mulatto,
you.
Okay.
mulatto,
And
We
y'all see
not
mulatto.
I'm not
fighting
angry.
you.
Why y'all angry?
We not fighting you.
But why are you
We are
angry?
not
I'm not
Man,
fighting
we
angry,
you.
we
brother.
angry
I'm
about this
asking,
shit, dog.
We are
why are
not
You
you
ain't
fighting
not
lying.
you.
developing a
We are
defense
not fighting
mechanism?
you. Look
The
at
guy is a
Why are
fool.
you not fighting the
look
See,
foreigners that are
just
in
look
your
at
land
The
though?
channel is
if
no
you were
longer
be quiet.
serious,
civil.
Be
I'm
see,
gonna
if
say
quiet.
if,
good
if
night,
yeah, yeah,
everyone.
yeah. I think it's time
Yeah,
to.
take
All
care,
right,
sis. Yeah,
brother.
take care,
Let's
lad.
have a peaceful conversation for the
If you
listeners
were
though.
serious about your question, you will know that there are myriads of reasons why we are where we are. From the
What
fact that
are
our
the
leaders,
reasons?
No,
I'm
he's not here
asking.
to
What
can
are
you
the
listen? Then
reasons?
let me start listening them. From the fact
Yeah.
that the people that you have on the continent leading the continent are the collaborators with the foreigners, people like you that we should get rid of within the
No, I'm
community.
American.
And
I'm not African.
hold on, including you within the American community. Probably you need
Yeah,
to
I'm
be removed.
American.
So then,
exactly. You never be
first you
African.
remove those type of people. Then secondly, you have
You
to
little
have the
stupid fool.
mindset to be able to do what it takes to liberate your people. And to get to that point, you need to be pushed as a people, not as all an individual. Because if as a people we are not pushed, and an individual wants to do it, the people will stop that individual from doing it.
So,
That we
brother,
have
why you
always
don't
done
go
on the
back to
continent.
help? Why you
So
don't go back to
you don't
Nigeria to
understand that.
help,
You don't
brother?
understand that concept. But see, yeah, and then
But
you
why
talk
you
about
won't
the
go to
Western.
Nigeria to help,
Hold
brother?
on. Then you also talk about the Western powers and the Eastern, all the powers in the world also doing their own part to ensure we remain debilitated and undefended, underdefended. So
Brother,
there are
you
so
pay
many
taxes
reasons.
to the U.S. government, brother.
You know that when the British came to
You
Nigeria,
ran
they
away from
colonized
Africa
Nigeria.
to pay
Hold
taxes
on
to
now,
the
hold
U.S.
on. Let me
government,
tell you.
brother.
When they came to Nigeria and many African countries, they colonized our countries their security posture within their own nations was extremely strong, but within the African continent, they gave them very, very small
So
militaries.
why did you move to the U.S.?
Can you just shut up? Can you just shut
Why
up?
did you move to
Even
the
to
U.S. to
let you
pay
know how
taxes
bad
to
this
the
is,
U.S.
you
government,
said
brother?
you want answer. You say you want answer, but you don't want to. You see, that's
Your
just shows
people.
Let's
that you're
go
not.
one step at a
You don't
time.
want the
I'm
answer. You
asking,
don't want.
Why?
Don't want
Hold
the
on, hold
answer.
on. No,
brother,
no.
Just
one
You're
shut
not
up.
step at
Just
a
shut up. Just shut up.
time,
Niger.
You're not
brother.
ready.
Two Niger.
I'm
If you want
asking,
the answer, I'm giving you the answer, and you don't want to
brother,
listen.
one step at
Two
a time.
Niger.
I'm asking, why did
He's
you
not
move to
here
the
for
U.S.
answer.
government
He's
to
not
pay
here for
taxes
answer.
to the U.S.
He's not
government,
here for
brother?
Oh
answer.
my God! You seem
He's
Why
like
did
you
not
you
just.
here
move
for
to the
answer.
U.S. to pay
Ask
taxes
for
to
an
the U.S.
answer. You're not
government?
giving me the answer. You want to answer another question. Ridiculous.
Hey, Pamela,
All
you need to
right,
get
Please,
off
man.
the
The
brother.
chat, dog.
And
entertainment was
brother,
good.
You
I'm
need to
brother,
get
you
gonna.
off the
cannot
You're
chat,
not
save
ready
these
for
dog.
the
Africans.
answer.
You need to
Just
get
move
the
on.
Hold
You're
on,
fuck
not ready
off
for
Steve.
the
the
Hold on,
answer.
chat,
Steve.
dog.
So I
Steve,
gotta
you
go
cannot
back to
save these
No,
knowledge,
no, you
Africans from
need
the
to get the
truth.
fuck off the
cosmology,
chat, dog.
You cannot
engineering,
save these Africans from the
mathematics.
truth,
None of
brother.
y'all. So
Man,
it's
Bro,
like
what?
you
this.
cannot
Man,
save
I'm
yourself
You
asking
from the
you,
cannot
truth.
dog.
save
What the
them
hell
from
you
this
done?
medicine.
What the hell
Technology,
you done? What the hell
You
you done
cannot
to
engineering,
save
empower
these.
your people
You
mathematics.
in your
cannot
goddamn
Don't
save.
forget
country?
it, y'all.
Mr.
All right, let me
American,
answer that. Steve,
Mr.
can I answer
American,
that,
No, no,
Steve?
no,
Captain
Let
no,
me
American,
tell
no.
you. Let
You
me tell
gotta
you what
get
I
Captain
did.
Mulatto
Americanism.
off the chat,
Let
bro.
me tell you
Have
what I
your
did.
Bro,
people
you
ever
gotta get
been
the
on the
fuck off the
dollar bill?
chat, dog.
Why
Have
y'all
your
so
people ever
triggered,
been on the
brother?
Man,
goddamn
you
dollar
need to get
bill?
the fuck off the
Captain
chat,
American,
dog.
have your people been on the dollar
I
bill?
swear, bro, if I see your ass in person, I'll beat your ass, dog.
He one of them losers.
I swear, bro, you a goddamn coon, dog. You's a
All right,
coon.
brother.
I think he's
I mean,
happily. He's
All
why?
right,
happily
the
Why are we
Bro,
getting
speaking.
question.
you
so
ain't,
violent?
bro, you
Are
ain't
we?
built like
Hold on,
that,
we gotta go to
bro.
commercial.
Talking
All
all
right,
that shit.
Commercial
all
break.
right, brother. Y'all cannot.
Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking
Oh
genuine
man.
cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.
All right, let me read the super chat. PCH Ride 1559. Thank you for $20 holla. I cannot with pride assert that I am an agglomeration of white or Indian predators, which will literally lead me to honor the enslaver's lineage ancestry that may or may not flow through my veins. Thank you for $20 holla.
Yeah. So the new world order or Berlin Conference 2.0 may be on already, and we have people trolling about this discussion. But I guess it's a joke until things become very, very serious for us. Trump just said to Europeans today that even if Europeans are not there to defend them, they will always be there to defend Europeans. This is how they behave. They, no matter what, they stick together, and that is their superpower. We as a people, we come and we just talk trash. And I can understand that. We can just say all these things we say because I think we have not had the necessary push to get us to where we need to get to. Because this stuff is a kind of a group mentality and group intelligence kind of situation. It's not about me. No matter how passionately I feel about this, it's not going to transform anything. Malcolm X was very passionate. Martin Luther King was very passionate about what he believed, but yet we still remain under the cosh because the people themselves, the larger group, haven't been triggered enough. And until we get there, especially on the continent, we are not going to move anywhere. Most of our people in Africa will be defending the Western powers today. Not only Mullah, people like Mullah too. Most of the people you see in the West, we still feel like Trump is coming to help us somehow. even when we see some of us, even when we see what he just did with this Venezuela, and he even turned against the opposition that even invited him to attack Venezuela very, very quickly, talking about how even the money they are going to make from the oil, they are going to put in safe havens, not even bring it back to Nigerian, this in the American state. Even our people will see all those things, they will still think Trump is coming to help them fight Islamic terrorism. Even when they see that Trump welcomed a former Al Qaeda leader into his White House barely a month ago. Our people just, it's not an individual thing. It's not because we are stupid. It's because we have not been awoken to be able to face the challenges that we truly
In
face.
other words, you're stupid.
No, it's
No,
not.
no, no. Let me
No,
say this, right?
we
It
have not
means
been
that no,
awoken.
you're just trying to be
Let me
polite, which
let
is
me
fair
say this.
enough.
Yeah,
But
you
Let me
just
say this.
trying to be
it
I,
Let me
balances
say
on
this.
stupid.
Let
I've
me
said
say
it
this.
I,
several
don't, I,
times.
don't, I don't think
You've
it's
heard me.
stupid because
Okay.
if you don't feel something, if you don't feel it, you don't act. That's
But
the
Okay.
brother,
truth of
if you
it.
think the white man is
Let me
coming to
say
help
this.
you,
Let me
you
say
are
this real quick,
stupid,
right?
we
brother.
feel it though. We feel
Let me
it.
say this.
Stupidity has to do with the
No,
mind and the thoughts and what balances from those minds and thought processes.
Uh,
That's where stupidity comes from, not from your emotions necessarily. So let's just keep up to
Brother, the
date
white
so
and
man
are
keep the
you
trying
going
to
to say,
help
okay,
conversation
are you
you.
going
going.
to say
You're
the
Why
Chinese
you
are
think he's there
stupid?
to help you, brother?
No,
Because what?
let me ask now. Let me ask him because the conversation seems to be
let me
moving. Are you going to say the Chinese are stupid during their 100 years of humiliation?
No,
Well,
you're stupid for letting the Chinese into Africa.
when you say that somebody has been humiliated, it is down to stupidity. Move the conversation on, Joe. Where we can't be wasting time on what is stupid. You're just trying to be polite, which is fair enough. I
yeah.
understand it, but let's move the conversation on.
But it's
We
because
can't
you don't
argue about
understand. You
stupid.
see,
Because time.
what you are saying is that it's
You
because you don't
need to
understand group
focus on
dynamics. You
There you
silence.
cannot
go.
expect the people to emerge where they have not what
Listen,
they
listen,
what they
listen,
don't
listen,
feel.
listen. You can't be talking to me because you know who I am. You
I
can't be
know who
talking
you
to me
are.
about. You can't be talking to me about group dynamics. Group
Yeah.
dynamics. Wait, let me explain to you something. Group dynamics is what normally comes from peer groups and peer group pressure. It starts at adolescence, and what it normally leads to is gangs and killing, stupidity. That's where group
No.
dynamics. Wait, let me finish.
It
That's the
does.
road group dynamics goes down. When you come to higher levels and you know that you're fighting for your well being, for your dignity, for your spirit of humankind, then it's a different thing completely. Then you need a mind. You need a mind that can lead people out of trough and deluge and damage. And for that mind and those minds that come together, they are the crucible. They are the lucid ones. They are the light and the lead. If you don't understand what's been going on for millions and zillions of years, that's your problem. But I'm not here
So
to wait. I'm not here to argue ridiculousness about what is stupid and what is not. Because if you haven't gathered that level, then I'm afraid everything that comes out of you, and I don't mean this in any personal way, I know who you are. I love and respect
yeah.
you. However, my brother, the conversation is slipping since I've come on and I felt that you guys were having a really tangible conversation as I was listening outside, the conversation has dropped. Now, I would like this
Why
conversation.
not stick to the point you are making? You are
I
shifting
would
it
like,
now.
wait, no, I am shifting it because it's nonsensical to talk about what
Yeah,
and
yeah,
what is not,
it's not
what and what is
actually.
not
It's
stupidity.
not because
Wait,
then you're not having
let
a
me land,
honest
let me land. You can
conversation.
go where you can take it where you want when you're speaking. I'm looking to take it elsewhere, and the elsewhere I'm looking to take it to is where you were speaking about, where all of you were speaking about matters of intricacy. You are getting to the point of answering and solving issues that are in all of our minds. I came on board to speak about the level of conversation that you were having and how important it was for us to have a mature adult conversation about what's at hand. And given
Yeah,
the fact that we were
it
speaking
was
about
derailed. It was derailed. I agree. It
it
was
was
derailed.
derailed. It was derailed. And you
I
guys
totally agree.
are
Yeah.
stupidly taking it into areas of rubbish. We can't afford to be talking about rubbish. Honestly.
No,
We
but
cannot.
no,
Okay.
We cannot.
Hold on, hold
It
on.
was
We
Malaki.
cannot.
It was when
Al,
We
Malaki came
cannot.
hold on.
on. That's when things
Hold
went
on.
wrong. So stop
Hold
shouting.
on. Don't.
Yeah,
Al,
go on.
stop that.
Go on.
See, stop that. Stop. Whenever I need to reply to somebody, just stay out of it. See,
No, it's fine. I'm just helping.
yeah, because you do that. You do that often. You do that often. You need to stop it.
No,
So
I
because
just don't
you
like
are
to
very
be,
conscious, you are aware of it. So don't do that. I know you are
yeah.
aware of it, but don't do
Okay.
that to other
Okay.
people.
Okay.
So
All right.
my
Okay.
point
Cool.
is
Cool.
that the point because Jagon use it the point minds. that have to emerge. Minds don't emerge from a vacuum. That is my point. If you see the minds, the football minds that emerge in Brazil, it emerged because of a culture. If you see the kind of minds that emerge in Russia, it emerged because of a culture of sacrifice. Japan, the same thing. If you don't have a culture that nurtures such mind, you can't create them. That's why I said if you emerge and that culture didn't create you, they will destroy you because you don't belong in it. That is my point. And we as a people have not been stimulated to a point where we can create such minds. That is what I'm saying. If you look at all the nations that have created such leaders, they emerge from crucibles that forced them. It didn't just emerge from enslavement and people were just oppressing them and colonize them and they just emerge. No. It took
But that
the Chinese. It took. Let me finish what Mao Zedong said.
Yeah, but
The
it's gonna take
Mao
us to
Zedong
get.
came out
It's gonna
and
take
turned.
us to do
Hold
something
on. You see,
Hey,
stop
guys,
interrupting
we
me.
got to close out. Hey,
Yeah,
everyone,
yeah.
thank you for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Till next time, family. Dynasty Mirror Search for Haru. Peace.
Danful offers unparalleled, curated, and bespoke tours across Africa for travelers seeking genuine cultural experiences, enriched with magnificent sights, sounds, and flavors found on the continent. Each trip is reliably curated to ensure visitors are gifted with an immersive and authentic adventure. Whether you find yourself strolling along the charming white sand beaches of Sierra Leone, feasting on the mouth-watering delicious foods in Senegal, observing or partaking in various aspects of the Isheshi traditional system Ifa native to Yoruba land, Nigeria, with Danful, you will rediscover a fulfilling sense of kinship to the true heart of the motherland, her communities. Our core values focus on integrity, quality, safety, and sustainability. We are uniquely committed to assisting with the advancement of African infrastructure and promoting African businesses, so both travelers and the communities they visit receive beneficial exchanges. At Danful, we understand the importance of connectivity, and we have created a model which provides bespoke experiences based on your passions or hobbies. With us, expect a long-lasting spiritual bond between you and your destinations. Live, love, Danful, Africa. To learn more, visit danful.africa.